All right, three, two, one, and we're live. Welcome once again to HeroQuest fans. Getting started a little bit late here on a Friday, but I had a couple of things to discuss, a couple of developments. As you can see, I've decorated a little bit here on the game table, card table setup here. The reason for that is I have some good news. Thank you to all of our supporters, everybody who followed, supported the channel, everybody who rated, chatted, everything, because finally, here on Twitch, which if you're watching us on Twitch, this is live today, May 13th, 2022. Or if you're watching it on YouTube, this is the replay. But anyway, as of today, actually a couple of days ago, I finally reached affiliate status on Twitch, which is a big milestone for me. I started about 9 months ago. The only content I really had was, whoops, sorry about that. The only content I really had to do, because there was nothing really interactive, it was all just reading stuff, which, I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about different things regarding HeroQuest and related games, fantasy tabletop board games, and so forth that I really enjoy or that I'm getting back into after many years. I appreciate everything that the community, the fan community online has done for me. But anyway, yeah, so I reached 50 followers. Yeah, that's what they call it, 50 followers. And I was, I have a much bigger presence on YouTube, but I really didn't start YouTube originally even for HeroQuest. But as it turns out, one of the earliest popular videos I had to do with the HeroQuest PC game. And that was more than a decade ago now. I didn't start at the very beginning of YouTube, but pretty close to it. And it was a few years before I posted anything. So anyway, it's a nice little ride. But at the same time, I have no illusions about fame and all that sort of thing. There's people that are, have millions of followers who make, millions of dollars on Twitch. I have no no thought that that's ever going to happen to me. That's not why I started it. If you listen to different YouTubers, streamers, and so forth, there's people that do it like to be their job. I do this as a hobby. I do this for fun, and I realize that the stuff I talk about is not necessarily mainstream, and not everybody's going to agree with me anyway. But I appreciate every single person who has followed, supported, subscribed, whether on YouTube, um, which is owned by Google, Mordor, or Twitch, owned by Amazon, Isengard. So, I'm just a small time guy doing what I like to do. I want to do more stuff with this. But as far as, yeah, so here's the topic that I want to get into. So you may have noticed the title is a little different than normal. And it looks like we're having some problems with the stream. Let me just pause for a second here. But yeah, I want to thank everybody that got us to where we are today. But I'm going to have to restart just because of that. Sorry. All right, we are live once again here on HeroQuest Fans on this Friday, May 13th, 2022. If you're watching this on Twitch, we are live. If you're watching it on the replay on YouTube, we're obviously not. XSC3, home of HeroQuest Fans. Thank you for following and subscribing. I want to thank everybody that has gotten us to this position. Looks like they're showing an ad now. Okay, so I've reached affiliate status now. Thanks to all of your help. Couldn't have done it without you, obviously. And I realize that I'm a small time streamer here. I'm not planning to become a multimillionaire. That's never going to happen. That's okay. That's not why I got into this. This is all a hobby. It's for fun. But I do want to get into kind of a serious thing here. So you may have noticed the title is a little different than normal. So it says for Shadzar. The reason for that, I'm not trying to stir up any drama or publicity or anything, but I did notice that, so Shadzar, some of you may have heard of him. He was a longtime contributor on Ye Old Inn. A lot of his opinions were controversial. He seems to focus much more on the Dungeons and Dragons community, which is I'm not really a part of. I'm only a little bit familiar with the game, to be honest with you. So I don't have a lot of stake in that whole conversation. But if you go to his YouTube, he focuses a lot on the kind of behind the scenes drama, the politics behind the scenes, stuff in the news. That's much more his thing. I prefer to focus more on the games. Now, um, so some people really disagreed with him. That's okay. But what I want to say is, so he posted a video on his YouTube channel recently. And the thing is, sometimes this happens. People have this persona online where it's like you don't know anything about the person. All you know is like what they choose to share. Could be their opinions, their offhand comments, maybe how they play games, um, jokes, threads. You just get just the tip of the iceberg of what they actually are as a person. The fact is, you don't know people. Just because you see a celebrity on TV doesn't mean you know them. Maybe you think you do. Maybe they do interviews, but it's all very rehearsed and everything. So some people overshare online. Other people like to be more private. It runs the gamut in between. But anyway, yeah. So whatever you think of his opinions, um, you get a sense, and this happens to all of us, is that you have a crisis in your life, something goes wrong, and maybe it's hard for you to ask for help. I mean, some people it's really easy. They talk about e-begging and all that sort of thing. I'm not a marketing guru or anything, fundraising guru, but for some people it is really hard to ask for help. So I have no reason to disbelieve what he's saying. I have no reason to think that it's anything but genuine. Um, he's having a struggle right now, family emergency. Some elderly family members who I guess have medical issues are being evicted or in the process of being evicted because the I guess the place where they were staying was going out of business or selling, and so they're losing their home, which is a big deal. Now, I don't know all the details of it. He hasn't chosen to share that. That's okay. I respect his privacy. And the thing is, like, I'm not trying to draw out any personal information that he doesn't want shared. So I'm leaving that alone. But I would just say, becoming an affiliate, as I did on Twitch here, just just recently, 50 followers. We're at 52. So thank you for everybody that supported us. We wouldn't be here without the help and support of certain people. And regardless of what has happened, I think he and I disagreed about some things, and I don't necessarily know all the details of that either because we haven't talked. Like he and I haven't talked, and it's not like he was a close personal friend of mine. So, I mean, it's okay if a person wants to walk away and do different things. I don't hold any grudges, and I hope he doesn't towards me either. But it's a decent thing to help somebody out. So if he's got a family crisis, I strongly encourage all of you listening to this, if you were going to give money to me, like I want to support this channel, instead of giving it to me, give it to him. Okay? That's just my request as a favor to me. So I've posted a link because apparently he doesn't know how to set up a fundraising thing. So forget GoFundMe or whatever. Streamlabs. So you can send him a tip on Streamlabs. And again, this is not an endorsement of their service or anything. It's just I asked him like, how can we help financially? It's like the only thing I have is a Streamlabs. So you can go to Streamlabs and send him a tip. So it's https://streamlabs.com/shadzar SHADZAR/tip TIP. And I'll show you what it looks like real quick here. No, that's not it. That's going to be later. I am going to do a game stream here today. We are going to read Fellowship of Four, Hero Quest novel. So this is not a Jerry Lewis telethon, if anybody remembers that. This is just me doing what I always do, but I did want to shout out Shadzar, and I wanted to invite people, if they're willing, because there's a million things you can spend your money on. That's your business, what you spend your money on. But if you want to help somebody in need who's asking for help, not in a big way, in a small way, go ahead and do what you can. So let's see, trying to get, let me just get this window up here so I can show you what I'm talking about. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, I got a late start today. Okay, there's our browser. Okay, so there's, you should be seeing Shadzar on Streamlabs. So if you go there, you can send him a tip. And it can be whatever amount you want. There's just the different suggestions. I'm trying to think like for rent. I don't know what state he's in. I don't know how much it costs. I don't know if it's I mean if you think it's a um well, what do they call it? Like a long-term care facility for elderly person. I mean, it could be, I don't know the costs involved. You could do some research to try to figure it out. But as far as donations, I think 2 people have donated so far. And again, whatever you want to do, if he updates this and says, "Oh, stop donating or donate somewhere else," I mean, that's fine. We'll try to update it. But as of right now, May 13th, 2:39 p.m. Central Time, this is what you can do. So I'm going to be monitoring this. If I see any people donating, shout out to them. But yeah, shout out to Shadzar. And I want to tell you, let's say you don't know who he is, or maybe you've heard of him and you don't like him. That's okay. You don't have to like him. The point is, it's for a good cause to help him out. So go ahead and donate if you feel so called to do so. Yeah. So what you see before you, um, whoops. I'm just gonna go back to the main window. There's too many windows. Okay. Whoops. All right. Yeah. So Shadzar, he like originally I did not ask. I don't recall asking him for help, but he just volunteered. He said, "You really should be on Discord. Discord's great." I'm like, I'd heard of it. I'd used it a little bit, just barely. But he went ahead and he set up a channel for us. So the HeroQuest fans Discord that you see, it's not state of the art or anything, but it is way more than I ever would have had. Like if it had just been me, just doing it on my own. So he set that up, organized it for us. He was our first moderator. Now on the forums on yeoldin.com, where I hang out a lot, there it is. Yeah, he didn't necessarily agree with everything that was on that forum. Well, neither did I. No, nobody does. I mean, it's run by other people besides us, and they have their own rules. Like they don't like discussing politics and religion or like drug policy. Like there's certain topics that people have fought over. Every forum does that. It's like they have some restrictions. People just got too carried away. So I think he much more likes to discuss that behind the scenes stuff. Eventually, the compromise we came up with, because I don't really like the politics stuff either. I think it gets a little too hot and bothered and distracts from just having fun with the game. But we carved out a little channel where people could talk about that. There's reviews and criticisms. You can do editorial stuff. There's HeroQuest in the news. You can talk about other things. But I mean, if you want to rant about Dungeons and Dragons, there's really no place to do that. And I don't know, maybe he wanted to do more of that here and it just wasn't the place for him, so he moved on. That's okay. But the whole fact that we have a Discord is thanks to Shadzar. So I can never thank him enough for that. So that alone, I owe him for that. So thank you for the Discord, Shadzar. And thank you for being a moderator. And he didn't even like doing the moderator thing, supporting his family members if he can afford to, but it would be a decent thing if you could donate. So once again, you can go to his Streamlabs. He doesn't have an official like fundraising page. He doesn't know how to do it or didn't get any help setting it up. And I know they take a cut. There's some complicated things. I've never done like a GoFundMe, Patreon type thing at this time, but I've got the means to help him a little bit. So I just encourage once again other people if they want to do that, go to his Streamlabs, donate. He said on YouTube, I believe it was his last video, yeah, he said he just doesn't have the time now to do YouTube videos. So, I mean, I guess if he comes back, he'll just come back on his own terms when the time is right. But if you want to go in there and comment in his YouTube, I mean, be respectful, I would say. Um, just yeah, just if he just ask if you want to help, just ask him how. But so far, what he has said is the Streamlabs donation is what to do. So anyway, so this is shout out to Shadzar. I hope everything goes well with your family. Sounds like a tough situation. If it were me, I'd do what I could, and it's not easy. So anyway, yeah. So all that aside, this is dedicated to him and his family. Anybody else that's in a similar situation, we're just going to go ahead and do what we do here on HeroQuest Fans, which is try to have fun with games. So I'm just going to kind of keep that in the background, just so you can kind of know that that's what we're doing here. See, this is why we need your money, so I can be professional. I'm just kidding. That's not what it's about. Yeah, we got our decorative dice there. That's just for fun. Yeah, I mean, he's a D&D player. I have these dice. I don't really use them. I haven't really used them for much. Just a couple of funny, moments where it's like, okay, got to roll the dice. Here we got our, and I'm not selling these. These are just what I have. These are the German dice, various colors. These are some ones I got from Board Games Maker that I had made. We got some black dice, purple, orange. These are all plastic, HeroQuest style. And these are like generic Dungeons and Dragons style dice. I mean, they call it that, but Dungeons and Dragons didn't invent these. I think there's a 20-sided die that they found from, I think, like ancient Egypt or ancient Greece. So those are actually really old, that design. But it was popularized by Gary Gygax in his game, and Shadzar can tell you all about it. Again, if you like that old school Dungeons and Dragons stuff and you want to hear his rants about it and where the situation has gone with the game, go for it. Um, but yeah, check him out on YouTube. Check him out on Twitch. But from the sound of it, he's not going to be making new content for a while because of his family situation, the family emergency. All right, let's check the. So thank you everybody for listening to that. Let's check the Twitch here. See how we're doing. Yeah, and thank you to the recent people who joined us, who followed. So Jaimeet1 and Kordak, Red 7 Hunter. Actually, Red 7 Hunter, I think, was number 50 of our followers that put us over the edge into affiliate status. And then Guzlado, Bender012, and of course, everybody else before that from when we got started. And I've been playing around with the emotes and the oh, we got people in. Cool. Yeah, playing around with the emotes and the what do you call them? I'm not even sure what it all is. But there's like animated stuff you can add to Twitch. I'm still learning it because it's new to me. Like you can do all this gift subs and 20% off and so I'm still learning it. So forgive me if it looks kind of amateur right now. We're just kind of starting from zero with that. And I'm switching windows like crazy here. Okay. Yeah, so welcome to Elviler. See, I finally got your name right. Rogue Girl, Six Flags Magic Mountain. Thank you for joining us. Sometimes I wonder, I see people in the chat and it's like, are these people that just forgot to log out or are these bots? But no, you guys have joined us a lot, so thank you for supporting the stream. Again, I'm just saying, one of our regular contributors, the main thrust behind setting up our Discord and encouraging me a lot on Twitch, Shadzar, he's in need. So if you want to go over to his Streamlabs, donate if you feel able and called to do so. And then check out his content. Even if you don't like his content, don't care. I mean, he needs help. He's a human being asking for help. So go for it. Anyway, So today we are going to be reading from Dave Morris's HeroQuest novel, The Fellowship of Four. We actually did a reading from it before, and it ended disastrously. So we have a new feature here on HeroQuest fans where so you can earn gold coins in the chat, and if it's not working yet, I apologize. I'm still learning it. You can earn gold coins from I think just sitting in the chat really. So if you're lurking, you're earning gold coins just sitting there. I think. If I'm doing this wrong, somebody tell me. And it's not real money. It's just fake money, whatever. Twitch money. I don't know what they call it, points or something. But anyway, you can use that to get certain features. And one of the features is so this we're reading this book and it's got like a choose your own adventure portion in here. And so there's choices. And so if you want to vote for like option 1, 2, 3, or 4, you can just contribute 1 gold coin. So again, it's not real money. It's just I figure it'd be kind of a fun way to vote. If it doesn't work, we can try something else. But the longer you follow, it unlocks little images and stuff. And so again, I'm still like working on it, updating it, just to try to make it give it a little bit more of a HeroQuest feel. And maybe there's some cool features we can add later, but that's all part of the Twitch thing. Some of it I think is kind of obnoxious and I don't want to do it. But other stuff I think it would be fun, just kind of enhance the chat a little bit. Because I know a lot of people, you're doing other stuff while the stream is going. You're listening to me talk, and maybe you're not really wanting to interact. That's okay. That's cool. You can actually call in to our Discord and talk to me like audio through audio in our voice channel. But if you choose not to do that, that's fine. If you just want to interact in the chat, though, that's cool. You can actually vote for what choices you want us to make in the book. I'm just going to make an executive decision. I'll give you 20 seconds basically each time. Actually, do we have a counter? I think we have a timer. I was trying to find a cool timer that would sort of fit with the fantasy board game type thing. I haven't really found one that I really like yet, but let me see if I can find it. That was a suggestion from the Strange Bus, so thank you to him for that. It's like a countdown. Fantasy countdown timer. Yeah, we'll see if this is practical. If this helps, we can do it. Just kind of like put it on a loop maybe. Sorry folks, just learning how to do things here. We never stop learning in life. That's really what it's about. Learning, growing. I mean, first you got to survive, but after you survive, it's about learning and growing. Yeah, I use OBS Studio, so if anybody has any cool tips for me, let me know. Let's see if we can see that. Oh, there we go. There's a giant timer, giant countdown timer. So yeah, we'll put that in the corner, and this will be kind of our little timekeeping device. And if you want to just, when we get to a choice, I'll remind everybody that we have 20 seconds to figure it out before I just make an executive decision and take us where we're going to go. So I've played this adventure once before, and because of that, I kind of know some of the stuff, but I mean, I don't want to deny people the opportunity to make choices in the game. So again, this is based on HeroQuest, the board game. These are the HeroQuest characters. And there's actually a character sheet, which I'm going to show you here. If you're familiar with the previous stream, then you've seen this already. So this is the character sheet, and I just threw it on paint.net. Actually, let's move some stuff around here. Screen real estate. There we go. There's our timer. And we've got our dice rolling box down here. So we're going to be rolling our 6d6, not 66, 66. No, our d6s. Now this could be anything. I mean, you could use one of these. You could use a standard die. 6-sided die with the pips. But I decided to use these because I had these fantasy dice, and you roll these for combat, and so I'll explain that. The rules are fairly simple. I mean, playing through it a couple of times, I know what's going on. So we've got our turn order here. We've got the barbarian first. So he's got 8 body. That's his survivability. He's 2 mind or resistance to magic. Combat is 5. He's got a speed of 3. Speed is, movement and also ability to flee. Oh yeah, and let's go ahead and put the turn order. See, I'm controlling all 4 heroes. There we go. And yeah, I'm not using a mouse. I'm using my light pen, but it's still getting used to it. Okay, so his weapon is a bastard sword. That's what it's called. Next, we've got the wizard is number 2 in the turn order. And the wizard has, of course, just like the board game, he's got a body of 4, 6 mind, 3 combat, 3 speed. So yeah, when you're rolling combat, you just have to get that number or less to score a hit. Just like the enemy, same way. And if you score a hit, you automatically lose a body point, or the target loses a body point, unless they parry. So the heroes can parry, which just means they have to roll a 1 or a 2. They've got to do it immediately, and if it fails, they take the body point of damage. If they go down to 0, they're dead, and they're out of the adventure. Okay, so the wizard has a dagger. I notice they also have carrying capacity, so the barbarian can carry up to 3 items. The wizard can only carry 2, but the wizard also has access to spells. Now, they selected for you. You could do whatever you want, but so he's got the earth spells, heal body, rock skin, pass through rock, air spells, tempest, swift winded genie, fire spells, ball of flame, courage, and fire of wrath. Now, if you were using my demagikified mod, he would be an alchemist rather than a wizard, and he would have, let's see, earth would be terra, and it would be medicinal herbs, shellac and mortar, and Hyrax cage. And then instead of air, it would be arrow, and it would be a gossamer net, warhog bladder, and Chinese rocket. And instead of fire, it would be pyro, and he would have, uh, let's see, Greek fire, berserker brew, and fire lance. So I did that strictly from memory. Cool. Okay, so that's what he has. Now, all those are just single use, but they can be very useful. And they work slightly different in the book than they do in the board game, but obviously it's inspired by the board game. This book came out in 1991. Dave Morris, cool guy. He released all his, I've said this before, but he released his books for free online. So if you go to his blog, which is called Fabled Lands, that's Fabled Lands, he has the PDFs up for download. So with his blessing, you can download them for free, read the whole narrative story, which is the first part of the book. I'm not reading that this time. And then there's the Choose Your Own Adventure. I call it Choose Your Own Adventure. It's a game book where you make choices and go to different pages and roll dice. There's that portion. Now the other books they add in between like a little HeroQuest quest that you can use in the actual board game. The Fellowship of the Four is the first novel. It doesn't have one of those, but the other two, Tyrant's Tomb and Screaming Skull, do have them. So there's, if you ever see a HeroQuest like standalone quest called Growl of Thunder or Running the Gauntlet, those are from the Dave Morris novels. They're like solo quests. But anyway, yeah. So Dave Morris, cool guy that he released his stuff for free. If the links don't work anymore, just email him. He'll send you like the links for the Dropbox or whatever it's called, where you just can download it. So pretty nice of him to do that. So thank you to Dave Morris for making that possible. So next, third hero in the order is the elf. I always like the elf because he's got some combat skill and he's got some magic ability. He's going to be third. He's got body of 6, mind of 4, combat 4, speed 4, 2 items. He just has a sword, which I'm going to say it's a short sword, but I mean it's a sword, generic sword. You have to have a weapon to be able to parry attacks. If you don't have a weapon, you can't. And his spells, he's just got 3 of them. In this case, they assigned him Sleep, Water of Healing, and Veil of Mist, which are the water spells. So if you're using the demagikified alchemy mod that I created, then instead it would be Hydro, and it would be Paralyzing Dart, Healing Tonic, and Flask of Fog. Yeah, there we go. And then last but not least is the Dwarf. So the Dwarf is the fourth hero in line. See, in the other books, you only control one hero, so it's a little bit easier to keep track of. I mean, you could play the book with multiple people. So you've got the Dwarf, he's got a body of 7, mind of 3, combat of 4, speed of 2. So yeah, instead of rolling dice to move, they just give you a speed number, which can be modified by items you find. And yeah, the battle axe is the first weapon that the dwarf has, and that's the most powerful weapon. But yeah, he's got a battle axe. He can carry 3 items. Oh yeah, the elf can carry 2. So yeah, so they basically took the 2 magical characters and said they only get 2 carrying capacity or encumbrance. And then the pure combat guys, the dwarf and the barbarian, can each carry 3. But yeah, the dwarf starts with a battle axe, and he's got a money pouch with 20 silver pieces, which will come in handy. And those are our heroes. So yeah, I did a long introduction there, but I just wanted to do that for anybody who's not familiar with these, because this could be kind of a longer stream, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, that's the character sheet, and I just took that directly from the novel. So you can get that, and it's part of the PDF. Oh yeah, there's our timer in the background there. Okay. I'm just gonna rename that so I don't have to keep clicking around. All right, checking the stream. See who we've got today. Ah, the Strange Bus. Yep. Welcome, Strange Bus. Thank you for stopping by. I always miss him. He's a busy guy. He's got his own streams going on Twitch, which he has grown leaps and bounds. That guy, super dedicated to streams. I mean, we did it was going to be 8 hours. I think it ended up being 7.5 hours of just Star Wars games. We did Jedi Knight, we did Dark Forces, which was from LucasArts, of course, Star Wars first-person shooter, and then Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, which I call JK, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, and it was long. And we had people playing, people that were way better than us, skill-wise, but we just had a blast. That was a lot of fun. So anyway, shout out to the Strange Bus. Check him out. Follow him. He's close to affiliate as well, so he's helped me a lot. He's done moderation. He's shown me a ton of stuff on Discord as well recently. So he's learning and he's sharing it with me. So I appreciate what he's done there. Being a part of his stream was a lot of fun. We're helping each other improve. He has a really polished presentation, and you can tell he's passionate about games, about video games especially, whether it's newer games on newer consoles or even old like N64 games, Super Nintendo games, whatever it is. You know, he's on Steam a lot. He has a lot of stuff that he goes there, and he shows me stuff that I didn't know about. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, go support him on Twitch. Go support him on YouTube. So anyway, I feel like it's all shout outs, but really, I mean, this is kind of a celebratory stream. We're celebrating the fact that I did get to affiliate status, and I couldn't have done it without the help from people like Shadzar, especially in the beginning, Strange Bus more recently, all the other people that have joined in and helped us out, made suggestions, comments, even people that challenge me and say you're wrong. It's like that encourages me to consider other points of view. That encourages me to strengthen my position, or even point out when I'm wrong and be like, okay, well, I learned something new. So that's always good. So yeah, shout out to everybody and welcome to Ninatella and another TV viewer, along with all of our other viewers there in the chat in Twitch. So anyway, let's get on with the live stream. Of course, live on Twitch, not live on YouTube, the replay. Oh yeah, there's another restriction. So this part kind of bugs me a little bit. So everybody knows about the music restrictions. Okay, that's annoying, especially if you're playing video games, which music's a big part of it. There's a rule that I had to sign, which is saying that if you post something on Twitch, like you've got to wait 24 hours before you can post it on YouTube. So before I was complaining about the fact that it took me like an hour, 2, 3 hours to post a video that was streamed here on YouTube. So I'm kind of annoyed by that, but I understand why they do it. They want to put the emphasis on Twitch. It's a rival company, big media conglomerate. They have all their rules and everything. So if you don't see the video appear on YouTube right away, that's why. So I think to get around that, I mean, I'm not trying to cheat or anything, but if I'm going to do a video for YouTube, I think I'll just do it for YouTube and premiere it there. But when I put something on Twitch, it's like it's going to back up onto YouTube, but it's going to be like 24 hours later or more if I forget, but hopefully I don't forget. So yeah, I'll have to kind of hold myself to that standard of posting it on YouTube after 24 hours. So yeah. Oh yeah, welcome Striker. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm brand new to being an affiliate on Twitch, and so there's all kinds of rules that you're supposed to follow. There's all kinds of benefits, but I don't know. I could see how a person could make a mistake and run afoul of their rules and like lose it. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it's not more trouble than it's worth. But yeah, I've kind of mixed feelings about it. I mean, on the one hand, I'm excited. I'm, motivated. I'm appreciative, grateful for the people that got us to here because it wasn't me. I mean, obviously, if nobody wanted to watch my stuff, it just wouldn't go there. You know, um, I don't have like an advertising budget or anything. It's all just word of mouth. Oh yeah, and there's other people. I mean, there's a Streamlabs channel where they make it a point of just following new people. So they've helped. Gareth Rydmar, who does painting, like I've rated his channel a couple times. He's given me a shout outs. PSK Studio, who played with us live on the Xanon Pass, the infamous Xanon Pass Barbarian Quest Pack streams, like he's shouted us out on his painting channel. Covert Nerd has interviewed me a couple times on his podcast, so he shouted us out. Ron Moore, who does video games, more on YouTube than Twitch. Like he's shouted us out. Lots of people have mentioned us. Wicked Mini Paintings. We've rated him a couple of times. He's way, excuse me, way bigger than us. He shouted us out. Strange Bus, of course. Less Cargo. I mean, there's lots of people where you have a nice conversation and they recommend people check you out. So that's a nice thing to do. And I'm all for that philosophy of sub for sub, follow for follow. Um, So yeah, so if you've got a channel that we might be interested in, love to support it, love to shout it out. That doesn't mean we agree on everything. You always got to throw that disclaimer out. It's like, well, I don't agree with everything. So of course you don't. Nobody agrees on everything. But just the general spirit of here's people doing what they love to do for fun, and if they can make a couple bucks on the side, help with their bills from being successful, that's cool. Not everybody's going to be a tycoon or give up their day job so that they can do this. I do this for fun to kick back, relax, introduce people to stuff that maybe they haven't heard about, just have a good time. So yeah, sorry, got a little sidetracked there. But yeah, there's a whole like philosophical thing to consider as far as like becoming an affiliate. And if it doesn't work out, I mean, we'll just go back to doing what we did before, which is just being a regular old streamer. But for now, looks like they've given us that and said, you've earned that minimum threshold of being a potentially paid streamer. So it's like, cool. All right. Well, I don't expect to make a lot of money, but I do expect to have a lot of fun. And if it's no longer fun, I'm no longer gonna do it. I mean, that's just kind of the bottom line. Because I can understand if a company hires you to do this stuff, but this is more of just an agreement and based on it's like they see what you're already doing and they're going to reward um, certain behavior and discourage others. So, but if it doesn't work out, we'll go somewhere else. All right. all of that aside, let's get back. And I'm going to go ahead and post this link once more for Shadzar's uh, Streamlabs if you want to send him a tip, help him out. So yeah, if you're wanting to send me money, just take the money you were going to send to me and just give it to him because he needs it more than I do right now. I mean, I'm not in danger of being evicted. I don't have family members losing their home, but apparently he does. So if you feel like it, go for it. Help him out. Give him what you can, a little something. Every little bit helps, I'm sure. So let me just check. So it looks like right now there's, yeah, I'm not going to be able to just keep refreshing this. But Manowar 665, no TB, and of course HeroQuest fans is us. It's like Toys R Us. Anyway, all right. So yeah, let's go back to the stream here. All right, we are going back and reading. This is our second read through of the Fellowship of Four, Dave Morris, HeroQuest novel. Yeah, I'd rather be playing the game, but the problem is right now our regular players are busy doing other things. I understand, stuff comes up, family, job, travel, but we're just gonna go ahead and do what we do. So cheers to Dead Gamer and all the other Dead Gamers out there. Man, that guy, shout out to him on YouTube, Dead Gamer. He helped me a ton, and I thank him pretty much in every stream where I take a drink because my voice gets tired. We're having a heat wave here. I don't know about you guys, but we're having a heat wave, and it's a little different than having a dry winter where you just got to keep popping throat lozenges and drinking tea or beverage of choice. But yeah, that guy, he helped me a ton with my streams about the remake, the HeroQuest remake. He had scans of all the books because he got it before I did, so he was showing me like this is exactly what's in the box. So when we did our video unboxings, it was very easy to just be like, okay, here are my thoughts on the quests, even though I haven't even cracked the box open yet. This is what it's about. So that guy, really cool. Check him out on YouTube. And there's other people I could shout out like all day long. Amalgamash. He's doing some cool stuff with HeroQuest recently. He does a lot of indie game, like game development type of stuff. More of a like kid friendly channel. But yeah, he's doing some cool stuff and he's taken suggestions and he shouted us out. And let's see, always bored, never boring. I've interacted with him a little bit, but he inspired me with like a lot of the solo questing stuff, the Space Crusade stuff, because Space Crusade's a new game to me, whereas those guys they know it a lot better, most of them. So anyway, all right, finally we're starting we're starting the novel. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay on the stream. I can already see that there is a bit of a delay, so I apologize. So I'll just give people a little more time instead of giving you just 20 seconds. So oh yeah, the clock is going to tell me. So the clock says 1:25 and we are actually at 3:20. Oh boy. Okay. Let me try to restart the stream again here, and we can stitch these videos together when it finally goes to YouTube. So let's just stop for a second, and we're going to restart. Everybody stick around, please. All right, welcome once again to HeroQuest fans. We are here on our celebratory, we can say that right, stream for becoming an affiliate on Twitch. Now, I'm really grateful for everybody that got us to this place, not least of all Shadzar, and this stream is really dedicated to him because he's having a tough time with his family emergency, and so I just want to point everybody to his Streamlabs. So streamlabs.com/Shadzar, Shadzar, or ZAR, depending on how you say it, /tip, TIP. So go ahead and if you feel called to give him a donation, please do so. If you're wanting to send me money because I'm now an affiliate, don't send it to me, send it to him because he needs it more right now. He's got some family members that are getting evicted. They've got some health issues, and it looks like, I mean, some people it's hard to ask for help when you're having a financial problem like that. But it sounds like he's going to be offline for a while, potentially not making new content because of that. So yeah, if you whether you like his content or not, just help out another human being, help out a member of the HeroQuest fan community. Even though he's much more D&D, and I don't care as much about D&D as he does. I mean, he's really passionate about it. Um, One way or another, support him. I think I'm trying to think if he's a disabled veteran or if it's one of his family members who is. But in any case, I know veterans have a tough time. So a lot of veterans these days, especially. So if that's a reason to motivate you, go for it. Go to his Streamlabs, send him a donation. All right. So anyway, we are looking at once again. I think the stream is like 2 minutes behind, potentially. No. What is going on with that stream? Sorry, folks. Still learning, even though we are an affiliate. Okay, so I'm gonna use this timer to try to see where we're at. So it looks like the timer is maybe like 2 minutes behind. So I'm just gonna go ahead and we're reading this Choose Your Own Adventure, this Dave Morris Fellowship before, and we're gonna give people an opportunity to vote or post in the chat what your choices are. We got our 4 heroes, and we're just gonna go ahead and start because otherwise we're never gonna get started. Yeah, technical issues happen. So yeah, this is 1991. We've got the Barbarian, first hero. We've got the Wizard, second. We've got the Elf, third. And then I put the Dwarf last, but not least. And we've got our character sheets as I've shown already, and we're just kind of drawing on those. Again, thanks to Dave Morris for putting his novels up for free online. Okay, so here we go. Page 1 or paragraph 1. Your travels have brought the 4 of you to Naklar, an eldritch country beyond Blackfire Pass. It was from west of this wild wasteland of fells and fens that in ancient times the king of the dead sent his legions against the living. Fortunately, he was defeated by heroes of that bygone era. Again, sounds like the Witch Lord to me. There are those who say he lies buried at the heart of one of the granite tors that you can see thrusting up from the barren moorland. You turn away from the window, preferring the cheery warmth of the inn to the bleak moonlight landscape outside. As you sup your ale, however, you cannot help noticing how quiet it is in the tap room. None of the locals seems at all curious about you, even though it must be rare for them to meet people from more than a few miles away. Rather than ask you about your adventures, they just sit in silence, staring morosely into their mugs. The door bangs open, and entering along with the cold and autumn's dead leaves comes a tall old man in a shag coat. He forces the door closed against the rush of night wind, and then crosses the tap room to converse in low whispers with the landlord and some of the elders. From the sighs and grim shakes of the head, you deduce that some weighty matter is being discussed. Eventually, the tall fellow fetches a cup of mulled ale and brings it over to stand by the fire. He looks chilled to the bone and deeply worried. If you ask him what's going on, turn to 4. If you decide to mind your own business, turn to 15. So here we get to the part where we finally have some interaction. And of course, I call upon you, the viewers, in Twitch anyway, where we're live. YouTube, this is definitely not going to be live. This is going to be 24 hours after the fact. I mean, today is May 13th as of this recording. So, yeah, if you are in the chat and you're hearing my voice and you want to vote on your choice, go ahead and type it there. If you have gold coins and you want to show off, you can choose option 1. Option 1, it only costs 1 gold coin, not real money. Option 1 is ask what's going on. Option 2 is mind your own business. Option 1, ask what's going on. Option 2, mind your own business. And since we have a delay, I'm going to give people extra time. I think the last time I think we talked to him a little bit, but we didn't quite get the information we needed last time. So I'm thinking this time maybe we should probably ask some more. So let's see, there you go. So anybody have any thoughts, suggestions? Option 1, talk to him. Option 2, mind our own business. Hey, cool. Okay, so we have our first interaction. Thank you, Elviler. So that's one vote for option one. Talk to the guy. Talk to the old man. Anybody else have any thoughts? I think I turned off the timer. Where's the timer? There we go. No, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to give people, let's say 30 seconds. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for testing that out. Yeah, that's a brand new thing I added. Okay, let's give people a minute to make the decision. So anybody else want to vote? Again, option one, ask the old man what's going on. Option two, mind your own business. If you don't know how it works, just go ahead, or you don't have any gold coins, you can just type it in the chat. I don't care. We're basically just starting from scratch here. Anybody else? Again, I understand people like to lurk, so if you're just doing dishes or painting a miniature and you can't really reach the keyboard right now, that's fine. Oh yeah, welcome to Basically Bo, Basically Bew, however you say it. I love mispronouncing everybody. No, I'm kidding. I don't love it, but I'm sure I mispronounce everybody's name. But yeah, welcome to the stream here on HeroQuest Fans. If you're just joining us, one of our longtime contributors and basically one of the guys that helped the stream become a reality in the first place, thanks to our Discord and lots of feedback. Shadzar is having a rough time. He's got a family emergency. So if you want to donate, go there. Free will donation. I don't get anything for it. It's just all about his family. So if you want to do that, but yeah, okay. So anybody else want to vote on the choice here? We're reading Fellowship of Four, HeroQuest novel, Dave Morris. So it looks like we are going to go ahead and talk to the old man, ask him what's going on, which is kind of what I was hoping you would pick anyway, because the last time I think we kind of snubbed him and we didn't necessarily get what we needed. So sorry everybody about the delay. There is a delay in the stream. Not much I can do about it at this time. All right, so we're going to ask him what's going on. We're going to 4. At your invitation, he eases himself onto a stool beside your table and it introduces himself as Dooz the Glim, a local wise man. In my younger days, I used to sort out messes of trouble hereabouts, he tells you. These days, the old bones creak too much, though. So, you ask, what's all the commotion about tonight? Oh, a bad business, and that's the truth, he says solemnly. He gives his cup a lugubrious look and then adds, Have you noticed what a poor, lonely sight an empty ale mug makes? If you buy him another mug of ale, excuse me, if you buy him another mug of ale, the dwarf must agree to this, since it's his money. Turn to 26. If not, turn to 37. Now, as far as this goes, I'm controlling all 4 heroes, so as far as I'm concerned, if you guys say the dwarf agrees, he agrees. So we got the barbarian, the wizard, the elf, and the dwarf. Dwarf is carrying 20 silver pieces. I'm sure that's enough to buy whatever drinks this guy wants. But hey, if it's going to get some more information out of him, I say we indulge it. But option 1, buy him another mug of ale. Option 2, don't buy him another mug of ale. So what would you say? Option 1, buy him a drink. Option 2, don't buy him a drink. So go ahead and vote in the chat if you want. It only costs 1 gold coin, not real money. If you have some treasure there, you can use your gold coins to do an option. If you don't know how it works, just type option 1, option 2, please. And we'll give you about a minute to decide, and then I'll just make an executive decision. So we're right here. If that helps. Anybody? Okay, Elviler. Once again, he seems to be running the show. He or she. I guess I shouldn't assume. Thank you, Elviler. Okay, was that about a minute? Anybody else want to vote for an option? By the way, Elviler, I know you didn't start at the very, very beginning. How much gold does it say that you have? I'm just really curious. Because for me, it says I have infinite, so I guess I can do whatever I want. But how much gold did you get for being in the? Because I know you've joined us before. I don't know if you started with any. I'm really curious. Again, it's like satellite TV. There is definitely a delay. Well, okay, it looks like Elviler is the only one who voted, so we're going with option one, which is to buy another mug of ale for the old man. And the dwarf is grudgingly reaches into his pouch to draw out those coins. Nah, he's itching for an adventure just like the rest of us are. So we'll see. Ah, 'tis true, gentlefolk you are, says Dowse as he calls the landlord over to fill his cup. The dwarf should cross off one silver piece. Well, that was a bargain. So we now have 19 silver pieces. Well, let's do what they suggest. So we've got the dwarf's stuff over here. I'm just looking at the character sheets. So if you're following along at home, if you've got your own character sheet, he now has 19 silver pieces. 19 silver pieces. Of course, we're dealing in gold, and actually in the board game, it's all about the gold coins, but here they're doing silver. Okay, Elviler started, 418, started at 300, I think. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll probably adjust that as things go on. I understand that the way Twitch is set up, you could be just like, okay, I'm a jukebox. You pay money and I just do whatever you tell me. I don't really like that idea. I like the idea of a give and take. Like I'm giving you creative stuff, you're giving me creative feedback. We work together, we create an experience together. So I kind of patterned the gold after like the armory where you're buying stuff. But maybe you could buy a potion and the potion would help the heroes in the quest. That could be something. But I don't want people like blowing their money on stupid stuff. So only participate if you want to. And if it actually asks you for real money, just be real careful what you're going to do. If it's the fake in-game money that you get from just hanging around, yeah, use that however you want. Because I don't like microtransactions in games, period. So if it gets to that point, yeah, don't fall prey to that. And if that becomes a problem, we'll just turn that off and just make it all free. Because I don't want to I don't want it to be that kind of channel, if that makes sense. So, okay. So we crossed off the silver piece. After he has taken a thirsty swig, he starts to tell you the tale. It is the poor milkmaid, Perdita, from the village, you see. She has been spirited away, and there's no doubt she'll have been taken to the old manse that lies far out over the moor. It was the home of Grim Dugald. Grim Dugald, as black-hearted a devil as ever wore a man's face, and since his death not a soul has been there and come back to tell of it. Now it's the haunt of goblins and dead things. Surely the villagers will band together and attempt to rescue, you say. He shakes his head and sighs. On any other night, perhaps, we might reckon on a handful who are brave enough, but this is Samhain Eve, when the unseen folk go abroad on the moors and work all manner of wild witchery. No one dares venture out tonight, and in the morning, no doubt, poor Perdita will be found cold and dead in a ditch. If you resolve to go to the haunted manse and rescue the maid, turn to 49. That's option 1. If you prefer to keep to the safety of the inn, turn to 15. Okay, so we've got another choice here. GM makes the final decision. Well, I agree with you, Elviler. That's what it is. When you play HeroQuest, it's Zargon's world, it's Zargon's call. So, I mean, I guess I'm not really Zargon in this. I'm just the GM. But yeah, if you guys want to vote, anybody that's participating in the Twitch stream, option 1 is go to the old manse, so the mansion, and rescue the maid. Sounds like the hero thing to do. Or keep to the safety of the inn. So this Grim Dugald spoilers, we faced him in the previous adventure and he was no joke. So I think we probably need all the help we can get. That's just my thought of it. But this is just, do we accept the mission? So option 1, accept the mission. Option 2, stay in the inn. Anybody want to vote? Please do so in the chat. It only takes 1 gold coin from our fake money to participate, or go ahead and just type it. We'll give you about a minute to decide. Yeah, I just downloaded that little fantasy timer from a website that had different ones. Maybe we'll get a better one later. There's all kinds of things out there. There's like dice rollers and stuff like that, but yeah, just a little thing to try to enhance the experience a little bit. So yeah, anybody have a thought? Option 1, accept the mission. Option 2, stay in the inn. I mean, I'm not sure what we would stick around for. I mean, maybe there's other people we could talk to, gather more intel. But I'm kind of anxious to get into the mission. I think last time people were too, and we rushed off a little too hastily. But at a certain point, you got to take the plunge. Just like on the stream. I mean, I could have talked on and on, but I wanted to get into the action. Okay, anybody have a vote? Option 1, accept the mission. Option 2, stay in the inn. Let's take a drink here. Cheers, Dead Gamer. Yeah, this stream is for Shadzar, so go ahead to Streamlabs and support Shadzar as well, if you feel so inclined. All right, so I'm just going to make an executive decision. Let's see. Now, each one could be a good choice. I think we should resolve to go to the Haunted Manse and rescue the maid. We got our mission. Staying in the safety of the inn sounds like we're just avoiding the mission. So let's go to 49. We'll do it, you cry. We'll go to the old manse this very night. Your announcement is greeted by the other villagers with the sort of enthusiasm they might give to someone who has just declared themselves to be carrying the Black Death. They stare at you slack-jawed, then hastily set down their mugs and set off home. As each of them passes your table to get his coat from the pegs by the door, he gives you a grave look and crosses himself before scurrying out. Just as you are heading out of the inn, you bump into a peddler who is parking his handcart outside. If you stop to talk to him, turn to 60. If you hurry past and head out to the moors, turn to 12. So here's another opportunity. So I think last time we just avoided the situation completely. We were just in such a hurry. So everybody's like, "Oh man, you know what you're getting yourself into." So should we talk to the peddler? I mean, we still got some silver. Maybe we can buy something useful from him. So option 1, talk to the peddler. Option 2, head out to the moors. Just get on going. Anybody wants to vote in the chat, the Twitch chat? I'll give everybody about a minute to decide. As time goes on and we get more people, we might shorten it, I think, to like 20 seconds. But because of the delay, actually, I think there's only like there's like a 15-second delay. So this isn't too bad. Before it was a lot worse. So, yeah, go ahead and vote in the chat. It only takes 1 gold coin. Fake gold coin. Talk to the peddler, option 1. Just head out on our mission, option 2. And yes, I do make the final decision, but I think I do want to give people the opportunity to add their own 2 cents if they will, or one gold coin. All right, looks like I'm going to go ahead and just make the choice. That's okay. So I'm going to say let's talk to the peddler, get more information. Or maybe he'll sell us something cool. Let's go to 60. And yeah, you can actually download the book for free. Dave Morris has put it out for free. You can download it and follow along. You could actually read along with us. But let's try not to cheat because you could read ahead and just tell us the right answer. The right answer. But anyway, I trust a lot of people haven't read this book. And if they have, it's been a long time because this was only released in the UK. I mean, it was a lot. It was hard for me to get a copy, but I finally did. Yeah, Great Britain. Okay, 60. He has just arrived at the inn, having dawdled somewhat and setting out this morning from the last village where he was staying. His route brought him over the moors, and he has spent the last few hours traveling in gathering darkness. He has a drawn, pale look about him, like someone who has seen a fearful sight, and is obviously keen to get himself a warm drink. He is reluctant to waste time talking to you, so decide carefully what you'll say to him. If you ask him what he saw out on the moors, turn to 72. If you ask him the best route to the Old Manse, turn to 84. The Old Manse is where we're going. If you ask him what he has for sale on his cart, turn to 95. Ah, okay, so here's our next choice. So option 1, ask him what he saw on the moors. Option 2, ask him the best route to the Old Manse. Option 3, see what he has for sale. I know what I'm going to choose, but you guys can influence my decision. So option 1, get the information. Option 2, get the best route to where we're going. Option 3, see what we can buy. I mean, what good's all that silver if we're dead, right? So I'm thinking option 3 is probably what we should do. We should see what he has for sale. But again, we didn't even talk to him last time, so I don't know what he's got for sale. That other stuff would be useful as well. Sounds like there's nasty stuff out on the moors, according to what the old man said. So anybody want to vote in the chat? Please feel free. Contribute 1 gold coin. It's just, according to Elviler, he started with 300. So you should have plenty to spend if you want. I deliberately made it low because I wanted everybody to be able to participate if they want. All right, so Elviler votes for option 3, which is ask what he has for sale. I agree with you. Yeah, see, I can be the tiebreaker. That's what I can do. Or if nobody makes a decision, I can just choose what I think we should do. But so far, the vote is for option 3. See what to buy. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. Sold. All right. So yeah, there's our timer again. Actually, I can just hide the timer when we're not using it. Okay. So we're going to see what he has for sale. Go to 95. I can tell this adventure is going to take a little bit longer just because of that. Usually it takes about an hour. But I mean, we've had some long adventures as well. I enjoy it. It's relaxing here on this Friday evening. Okay, 95. At first, he is reluctant to waste time talking to you. All that wasting time. Well, I guess time is money for a peddler. But then he says, "I will have a look here and see what suits you." He whisks the canvas off his cart to display a jumble of items. Most are junk. But sorting through, you find some objects that might come in handy. A length of rope costs 5 silver pieces. An oak staff costs 8 silver pieces. Ah, see, when I see that oak staff, I immediately think of the wizard's weapon in Hero Quest. I wonder if that's what that is. Okay, so an oak staff is 8 silver pieces. A jar of healing salve costs 14 silver pieces. See, I remember that from the other book, healing. Yeah, because the wizard has a healing spell, heal body. The elf has a healing spell, water healing. But if we had another heal, that might be useful. A sprig of garlic costs 1 silver piece. It's really cheap. We've got 19 left, by the way. We've got 19 silver pieces. A silver dagger costs 19 silver pieces. See, I'm just thinking garlic, silver, oak. Let's see. A phial of holy water costs 7 silver pieces. Must be paying for the vial, not the holy water inside it. Silver dagger is 19 silver pieces, though that'd be all of our money. The healing salve can be used to restore 1 lost body point. There is enough in the jar for 3 uses. Okay, so we could heal 3 body points with that. That's pretty good. Because in this version of the game, unlike the North American Hero Quest, like if a hero goes to 0 body points, he's dead. He's out of the adventure. Whereas in the North American version that I grew up with, if you go to 0, you automatically use your healing to come back. So I can make an executive decision about that. If we're like really close and somebody dies, but they've got a healing ability, we could just say it kicks in and saves them from actual dying. But according to the rules of this book, they don't let you do that. So, all right. So vial of holy water, 7 silver pieces. Okay, silver salve. Okay, the dwarf should decide what you are buying, if anything, and cross off the appropriate sum. Then, as the peddler goes to spend his money in the inn, you head out over the barren moor, turn to 12. Okay, so does anybody have any suggestions what we should buy? We've got 19 silver pieces. So I guess we have more than 4 choices here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 choices. Now we can do combinations. So let's see, 14. We could get a sprig of garlic, an oak staff, and a length of rope. We still have a few coins left over. We could buy only the silver dagger. That would be all of our money. We could get the phial of holy water and the oak staff and the sprig of garlic. I mean, depending on what our choices we make later, we may or may not need all of these things. If it were me, but I mean, this is kind of spoilerific. I'm thinking we definitely want the holy water. That's 7. So that'd be 12 silver left. And the length of rope, that's 7 left. And a sprig of garlic. It'd be nice to get the salve, but that's so expensive. Okay, this is my proposal. How about we get the rope, the garlic, and the holy water? 3 items. That's 13 silver. So we'd have 6 left. Anybody agree, disagree? Want to post in the chat? Yeah, I should have done more options because I only put 4 options in there. Yeah, if anybody has any thoughts or suggestions, please type them in the Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube, this isn't live, so you'll just have to wait in suspense until we make a decision. Sorry. Because at this point, you don't know anything what you need. But I've read the book before and we lost. So I'm kind of thinking, I kind of have a thought. So just to keep it interesting, to keep the adventure going. Because yeah, just like when you're reading Choose Your Own Adventures, it's like you always get the deaths. It's like, oh man, I died. Go back, try it again. So I'm gonna say let's get what I suggested. Make an executive decision here. So no need for the timer really. But let's just say, well, now we've got to give the stuff to somebody. So let's say the length of rope is 5. Sprig of garlic is 1. Vial of holy water is 7. It's 13. So we got 6 left. So we'll just cross this off, and he's got 6 silver pieces. Unless we want to buy more, like spend it all. But what if we need it later? Who knows, right? So he's got 6 silver pieces left, and let's see, who should have the length of rope? Thinking like the strongest guy. So maybe give it to the barbarian because he's got 2 slots left. So let's say, come on, pen. All right, rope. So if you're a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, yeah, rope. Okay, and then we've got the garlic. See, now the magical guys don't have a lot of carrying capacity. Of course, if we lose a hero, then we're going to lose his stuff too. Hmm. Let's say the elf is going to have the holy water. So we'll give the elf the holy water. Yeah, penmanship with this light pen. I'm just getting used to it. Okay, I could do cursive to keep up with it, but I'm not trying to make it harder to read than it needs to be. All right, and then the sprig of garlic. I guess somebody's going to be full as well. Let's just give the garlic to the, yeah, let's give it to the barbarian. Okay. So garlic. Okay, so we've got the rope and the garlic for the barbarian, so he is full capacity. The wizard still has 1 slot open. The elf gets the holy water. He's full. And the dwarf has 1 slot open. Because if we find an item, we got to drop something if we run out of space. So yeah, there's a little bit more involved in this than just your typical choose your own adventure or twist a plot or whatever book. Okay, so we've made our purchases. And we don't have the healing salve, but we do have those healing spells. If we didn't have those, I'd say maybe the salve would be more important. So let's go to 12, moving right along. And if you choose to listen to this on the replay with increased speed, I understand, because we are taking our sweet time here. We're trying out a new thing. Okay, 12. You make your way out across the moors. The moon shows as a white gleam behind heavy shutters of cloud. Looking ahead, you can see 3 possible routes. One is a stone lich that passes by a number of ancient burial mounds. The second, used by carts heading to and from market, leads over the moors to the town of Ithyorn, and it skirts a ruined castle, which many believe is haunted. I wonder if that's where we need to go. Alternately, you could take the path that winds through the misty hollows. If you take the Lich Way, turn to 23, so that's option 1. If you prefer to try the cart track, turn to 34, that's option 2. If you plump, interesting choice of words. If you plump for the path through the hollows, turn to 45, that's option 3. So option 1, Lich Way with the burial mounds. Option 2, go through the cart track. Option 3, go through the hollows. I have a feeling either way we're going to run into some opposition here. So prepared for any manner of ghostly, ghoulish monsters that we may encounter. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds here to decide. Option 1, Lich Way. Option 2, Cart Track. Option 3, Hollows. Please vote in the Twitch chat if you're so inclined. Option 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, before this we weren't using the options. It was just anybody that wants to type it in the chat. Oh, see, I haven't been looking at Discord. I wonder if anybody in Discord is responding. If you have been and I've ignored you, I apologize. Let's just remind people. Live, by the way. Post the link in the Discord. We're reading Fellowship of Four here on HeroQuest Fans from Dave Morris. One of the official HeroQuest novels. And, you know, whenever these get brought up, people will say, it's not really canon. Like, says who? If you want it to be canon, you can say it's canon. Actually, a lot of the stuff that he mentions, I'm I'm perfectly happy to incorporate into my world. Now, there's some things it's like, okay, it could be a little bit different. I mean, it's not strictly Warhammer fantasy lore. It's not strictly like what Hasbro says about their franchise today, but you know, I think it's pretty cool. I like it. All right. Well, since we didn't really have a vote this time, which one should we do? Lichway, Cart, or the Hollows? See, we're trying to get. See, I think maybe the cart track would be the right way, just because we're going by the haunted castle. Oh, people are responding, and I left the little beeps on. Oh yeah, thanks PSK. So he gets all the notifications. Gonna watch you while I set up for tonight's event. Cool. Yeah, PSK does Dungeons and Dragons. He's doing his own stream, so definitely check him out. So yeah, we'll have to hurry up because he's gonna suck away all our viewers. Just kidding. I mean, we do different things. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for lurking. Strange Boss, hey. So he did. Okay, so something just happened here. I'm getting used to the whole affiliate thing. Thank you, Strange Bus. So he's gifting one tier, one sub to HeroQuest Fans Community. It's their first gift in the channel. Cool. Okay, and honestly, I'll have to kind of look up what a lot of that means, but I mean, it sounds like a good thing, so thank you. Yeah, thank you, Strange Bus. I appreciate the congratulations on the affiliate. I know you and your channel, you're really close as well, so we'll have to celebrate when you get affiliate as well. So awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, it says gift a sub 20% off. So if you think that's worth it for you, feel free to participate. Yeah, so we're reading this novel, and I think since no one really voted on a choice, I'm going to go ahead and just pick one. I don't know which is the best, so I'm just going to go for it and say that let's take the cart track. So that's option 2, so 34. So we're going to 34. And yeah, if you want to tip Shadzar on Streamlabs, go for it. Okay, 34. The track meanders beside a low stone wall choked with vines. It takes you past tangled meadows and under the looming shape of a local gibbet. You are thankful for the thick clouds that hide the moon, sparing you more than a glimpse of the gibbet's moldering occupant. No sooner have you thought this than a moonbeam shines starkly through a rent in the cloud, excuse me. You catch a momentary gleam of a ravaged face, its lips eaten away down to a ghastly white grin, and hurry past with a shudder. Eventually, you catch sight of the castle atop the rise of a hill, a jagged shadow across the gray light of the moon. A sound comes down to you on the wind. Could it be the clash of steel, faintly ringing from inside the ruined keep? If you go up to the castle to investigate, that's option 1. If you pass by and incuriously, turn to option 2. Or 69, option 2. I'm getting it confused. Okay, so we have another choice to make. Anybody that wants to participate in the Twitch chat here. Option 1 is investigate the sound. Sounds like somebody fighting. Option 2, just pass on by. And we got people in, Discord. Yeah, so if you're in the Twitch chat, if you're in the Twitch stream live, this won't be on YouTube for 24 hours because that's the rule. I think I'll probably be doing exclusive stuff for YouTube and exclusive stuff for Twitch Well, the Twitch stuff will eventually go to YouTube, but there's a delay of an entire day. I kind of don't like that, but that's their rule to be an affiliate. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so option one, investigate. Option two, pass on by. Please vote, and we'll give you a little countdown here. This was Strange Bus's idea to do this. So we'll give you 30 seconds because I think there is a delay. Maybe I'll give you a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's like a 15-second delay. So there's our choice. Option one, investigate. Option two, pass by. Because, I mean, it could go either way, right? If there's a fight going on, we may have a fight on our hands. I mean, we've got 4 heroes here, fully equipped and ready for battle. But maybe it's a trap. Maybe we've got better things to do. You know, as a hero, you get these side quests. People say, oh, yeah, do every side quest. You know, if this were the board game, there'd be gold that we could get. Here, not so much. I mean, we started out with our silver. We've got our silver coins left in the dwarf's pouch that he's carrying. Let's just take a quick look here. So I'm not saying treasure is necessarily in our future, but yeah, we now have holy water. We have garlic. We've got a rope. We're definitely ready for any supernatural foes that you typically encounter in these kind of missions. All right, anybody want to vote for anything? Any thoughts, suggestions? Type it in the chat, please. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and make a choice. I don't know which one's the right one. I'm discovering it with all of you. So I'm thinking investigate, option one. Our fame grows as we do these side quests, right? So if nobody objects, I'm going to go ahead and choose option one. So let's go to 82. Again, if you need more time on these, feel free to chime in, please. All right, 82. You make your way up the hill to the castle, passing between the shattered pile of stones that was once the gate tower. You emerge into the courtyard. Grass and clumps of heather poke up between the cracked and tilted flagstones. The walls have tumbled in, and the proud towers have become craggy stacks. Bathed as it is in the cloud-fretted moonlight, the scene strikes you as melancholy and dreamlike. The lineaments of ancient glory. The unmistakable ring of swordplay startles you out of this reverie. A sudden motion catches your eyes. You turn to see 2 knights in the middle of the courtyard, smiting at one another with heavy two-handed swords. Both wear armor of a very old style. One has pale trim on his ebon cuirass and wears a light cloak. The other is dressed in a black tabard over a coat of silvery mail. Their faces cannot be seen because of the beast-like visors of their helmets. If you wish to step forward and interrupt their dispute, turn to 93. So that's option 1. If you quietly return to the path and continue on your way, option 2, 69. Okay. I mean, on the one hand, this is voting time again. What business do we have? I mean, these guys are having a duel of some kind. Do we really need to be involved in their dispute? On the other hand, maybe we can intervene. Maybe we can prevent the needless death of one of these warriors. Maybe we can get them on our side. On the other hand, maybe one of them is in the wrong and needs to go down. So maybe we shouldn't interfere. I mean, there's 4 of us. There's only 2 of them. What if they both turn on us? Then again, we don't even know if these are mortals. They might be, wraiths or ghouls or something. They're dressed in an old style. Maybe they're phantoms. So option one, if anyone wants to vote, option one is to interrupt the dispute. Option two, continue on their way. Now, on the other hand, I mean, knights don't just fight for honor or whatever, or try to kill each other for real. Maybe they're just sparring. Maybe it's not really a death struggle. Anything can happen. So anybody want to vote? Option one, get involved. Option two, mind our own business. I'm not sure which one I want to do, to be honest with you. You know, since I think I'm going to be the one making the decision. Oops, sorry. Didn't show you the timer. There's the timer. I'll give you let's see, we'll give you 30 more seconds to decide. So if anybody has an idea, thought. If so, put it in the Twitch chat. I know we've got a delay. So do we get involved in the fight? Option one. Continue on our way. Option two. I mean, these knights, they take their battles very seriously. So what if they both turn on us? Like, how dare you get involved? I'm really not sure what I want to do. So yeah, and if you're just joining us here on HeroQuest fans, we're doing some more interactive stuff, celebrating our affiliate status. And we're doing it for Shadzar. So if you want to donate to his streamlabs.com/Shadzar/tip, go ahead and give him a donation for his family or being evicted. Um, don't have a lot of details, but I mean, he contributed a lot to our growth here and really helped us get started on Discord. So I owe the guy, so that's why I'm helping him out. But it's also the decent thing to do. If you have some extra money, throw it his way. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and make an executive decision, but since I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, I'm just going to just take a wild stab in the dark here. I mean, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, probably getting involved in the side mission is good, but let's just roll a die. So let's take our standard combat die, Hero Quest, and if it's a skull, we'll get involved. If it's anything else, we'll just continue on our way. So just roll the die here in our dice rolling box. And it's a skull. Okay, so I said if it was a skull, we're going to go ahead and get involved. I can see the delay. So yeah, we're going to get involved and see what happens. Okay, so step forward and interrupt the dispute. Turn to 93. All right, put my finger there just in case. Just like in the old days. Let's use our combat card as a bookmark. Okay, their sword strokes are delivered with great ferocity, sending metallic knells reverberating around the ruins. But between each clanging exchange, they reel back to rest on their weapons, sucking the air into their lungs with sobs of raw fatigue. It seems they must have been fighting for a long time and are mortally weary. Their battle has become as much a contest of stamina as of skill. You move closer. As they become aware of your presence, they move apart and stop fighting. Leaning on their swords, they raise their visors and watch you. Their faces are pale and soaked in sweat, and so alike that they could be brothers. Who do you want to speak to? If it is the one in the pale coat, turn to 105. If it is the one in the dark coat, turn to 116. If you step between them and dress them both together, turn to 126. Okay, So we've got three choices here. So option one, if you're in Twitch, option one, you can contribute one gold coin from your stash there because you all started with gold. Uh, Option one would be speak to the one in the pale coat. Option two is speak to the one in the dark coat. Option three, step between them and address them both together. I know what I would choose. If it were me, I'm thinking I would just talk to them both. But I think this is like a test of your perception because I'm thinking to all the tropes in the stories, the guy dressed in white, is he the good guy or the bad guy? I mean, in Lord of the Rings, Saruman the White, he was a bad guy, but Gandalf the White was good. Dark usually connotates, he's wearing black, he's a bad guy, but not always, not necessarily. Um, but if you step between them, you're making peace between, are they brothers? Is this a civil war? Is this an old dispute? Maybe you can put an end to the bloodshed. Maybe you can break the stalemate, or maybe it's a trap. So option one, pale coat. Option two, dark coat. Option three, be it between them. If nobody has a decision, nobody has a vote they want to make, I'm going to go ahead and pick option three. But I'll give you a little bit of time to decide if anybody wants to influence me there. Let's get our timer back on screen. Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds to decide. Option one, two, or three. Pale coat one, dark coat two, get between them three. While I'm waiting here, I'm just going to check the stream. Yeah, thank you once again, Strange Bus, for that. We've got Captain Conman. Reminds me of Captain Caveman. Welcome to HeroQuest fans here on Twitch live. This won't go on YouTube for 24 hours. That's their rule. So yeah, we're affiliates now, so they give us all kinds of weird rules and hoops to jump through, but there's some benefits as well. And we're doing it for Shadzar, who did a lot for the stream and a lot for the Discord back in the day. So streamlabs.com/Shadzar/tip if you want to donate to him. Help his family out at a difficult time. All right, so I'm not seeing any suggestions in the chat. We'll go ahead and make our decision. I'm going to step between the two knights who are just fighting just to sheer exhaustion. Let's see what this is all about. I mean, there's once again, there's four of us and only two of them. So we're going to 126. You advance to stand between the two knights. This duel is senseless, you say. You are equally matched, and you must fight until doomsday without settling the issue. If that is true, mutters one darkly, then so shall we fight, finishes the other. Their hard glare into one another's eyes seems to bore right through you, as if you were nothing. Their expressions are rigid with relentless enmity. Guided by a tacit signal, they both start to lower their visors, ready now to renew the fray. Wait! You cry, throwing up your arms in protest. If you try to convince them the duel is unnecessary, turn to 3. So that'd be option 1. If you take sides in the matter, turn to 14. That's option 2. Very interesting. So option 1, if anybody wants to vote here, option 1 is try to convince them the duel is unnecessary. If it's option 2, take sides in the matter. So anybody want to vote? Have a decision? I'm going to check Discord here. Nothing really going on there. So I'm going to give you some time to think about this. So we've got our timer. Let's say 30 seconds to make a decision. Option 1, protest. Option 2, take a side. I mean, sometimes in these matters you do have to take a side, but we have no idea. All we know is these guys just want to keep on fighting till doomsday. Maybe it's a symbolic battle. Maybe it's good versus evil, but we don't know who's good and who's evil. All we know is one guy's wearing light colored clothes, the other guy's wearing dark colored clothes. That's it. Appearances can be deceiving, right? I mean, I'm inclined to tell him that the duel is unnecessary. That's my inclination. But anybody else disagree? All right. Well, I think everybody should have had enough time to kind of think about it and decide. So we're just going to go ahead and make an executive decision here. I'm going to say try to convince him the duel is unnecessary. And if we have to fight two guys, I guess we have to fight two guys. So I'm just going to put this thing's got some sharp corners. I don't want to damage this book, so we'll just put the card there. And we'll go to 3. We haven't had our combat yet, so this might be it. Okay, you try to make them see the futility of their struggle. Look at the castle around you. It is just a weed-covered ruin. Whatever calamity befell your people, it must have happened long ago. You are nothing more than shades. Possibly your great passion for honor has kept you dueling here night after night for centuries. They both gaze ahead as before, but now a look of sadness softens their fierce stares. Aye, says one with a forlorn groan, it is the truth. The other stands swaying, seeming to see a swirl of images in his mind's eye. We died with our troops, he sighs. Only wounded pride has kept our spirits tied to earth for so long. They are fading in front of your eyes, turning to phantoms in the faint moonlight, and finally vanishing altogether. A bizarre and poignant episode. As you make your way out of the ruins, a shaft of moonlight descends from a break in the clouds to illuminate one of the arches in the castle wall. That's interesting. So if you clear the undergrowth away and look into the arch, turn to 25, so that's option 1. If you prefer to get back to the path, that's option 2. So option 1, clear the undergrowth and look into the arch. Look into the arch. So the sunlight, or the moonlight, excuse me, is highlighting one of these archways in the castle wall. Almost like you're being tempted to look into it. What is it? Or you get back on the path. I don't know. There's something, time travel-y, magical going on here. I mean, you have these two guys fighting, and we convinced them that their struggle was futile, so they basically gave up. They let their spirits pass on. So I mean, you did a good thing. You did a good thing. And now, what's the next step? I'm thinking option 1. If anybody disagrees, go ahead and vote. Well, if you agree or disagree, go ahead and vote in the chat there on Twitch. All you need to do is contribute 1 gold coin. It's not real money. You start with a bunch of it, according to Elviler. Let's see who we've got. We've only got a few people in the chat, so I understand if you're lurking. But I'll give you a little bit of time to make a decision here. See how we're doing. Yeah, we're having a heat wave, so I'm trying to keep the systems cool here. Okay, so I'm thinking we should probably look into the arch. That's option 1. Option 2 is get back on the path. I know. I think Stryker is the one who would have said do all the side quests. But I mean, we started something here with that duel between those two knights, and the question is, what's next? All right, I'm going to go ahead and make a decision here. We're going to say, let's look into the arch, 25. Because that's how we roll on HeroQuest fans. Okay. It gives on to a small chamber. As your eyes adjust to the gloom, you can just make out a metallic gleam coming from a stone table. Advancing, you discover a magnificent jeweled breastplate. It has the ornate style often found in war harnesses of antiquity. A player who wears the breastplate gets to roll a dice or a die anytime he or she is wounded in combat. On a roll of 1 or 2, the breastplate blocks the blow, and no body points are lost. However, the breastplate is quite cumbersome and will reduce the player's speed score by 1 point while worn. See, that sounds like plate mail. After deciding who gets this valuable item, you retrace your steps and continue across the moors. Well, that was cool. So we finally got our first bit of treasure. So a jeweled breastplate. Now, it doesn't say the wizard can't wear it. So I'm almost thinking we should give it to the wizard. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say the wizard's going to get it. So let's turn on our character sheet. Yeah, we're playing Dave Morris's Fellowship before here on HeroQuest Fans, so welcome everybody who is joining us. It's more of a relaxed stream today. And yeah, if you go over to streamlabs.com, please consider donating to Shadzar. He's got some family members who are facing eviction. Whoops. Okay, yeah, it looks like I'm a little kid writing that. But breastplate, let's see. So he gets 1 less movement or speed. So his speed is down to 2. But he gets 1 to 2 wound. Because you've got your attempt to parry. So if you get hit, you try to parry it. And if you fail in the parry, you get another chance to roll a 1 or 2 to negate the damage. Now he does have the healing spell, but he can use the spell on somebody else. He doesn't have to use it on himself. So that's my reasoning with it there. Okay, so now he's full of stuff there. His carrying capacity. Okay, so after deciding to go, okay, so we're at 24 now. Okay, you retrace your steps quickly to find the Tro rocking back and forth in silent laughter. What? Oh no, hold on a second. Yeah, I just lost my place. Excuse me. It's not 24, it's 25. Okay, so we did 25. Yeah, I get lost. It's just because I flipped back to read the rest of it. Okay, 25. We took the breastplate. If you get a 1 or 2, you don't take any damage. Speed goes down by 1. Okay, now we're going to 69. Okay, so 69, paragraph 69 in Dave Morris's Fellowship of Four HeroQuest novel. At last you arrive. Here we are at the deserted manse of the infamous Grim Dugald, the bad guy. It seems you have already had as harrowing a night as any of you can remember just in crossing the bleak moors. But your perils are far from over yet. You look at the darkened manse. From its high gables, gaping window sockets, and shroud of ivy, and the feeling of foreboding makes you shudder to your core. Still, you will not make things any better by hanging around out here. You may as well get things over with. If only you knew what "things" in question were. Cautiously you advance along the path until you reach the edge of a wide trench that surrounds the manse like a moat. There is no water in it, but the dim moonlight brims it with shadows. There's a kind of bridge spanning the moat. It is not like any bridge you ever saw before, however, since it is made up of thick square tiles of pale marble, which hover magically in the air without supports. The tiles are about 2 paces on a side and are close enough for you to easily jump between them. You notice they are furry with green mold that also hangs raggedly down towards the moat. If you cross by means of the hovering tiles, turn to 73. If you descend into the dry moat, turn to 85. Okay, so once more, we've got a choice to make. So please, if you're so inclined, feel free to respond in the chat on Twitch. You can contribute 1 gold coin to choose option 1. Option 1 means hovering tiles. That's how we're going to travel. You know, all you video game players know the jump puzzles. Option 2, go into the dry moat. So there's no water in the moat. We're going to descend into the moat. I remember what we chose last time, but I'm not going to say because some of you may not have watched that stream. And who knows, it could be something different this time. So option 1, take the floating tiles. Option 2, go into the moat. Which will we choose? And we'll give you, let's say, 30 seconds to respond. Otherwise, I'll pick one. I mean, there's the safe choice, and then there's the unknown, right? So that's where we are. Option 1, floating tiles. Option 2, go into the moat, the empty moat. Just going to check the chat here. Yeah, and welcome to all of our viewers. Another TV viewer, basically Bo, Captain Conman, Elviler, Nanatella, Rogue Girl, and Six Flags Magic Mountain. All right, I'm just typing in the chat just to remind people the way this game is played. I mean, this is the first time we did it. We'll probably have to do this a few times before people catch on. And for the people who are just listening audio, I understand because you're just waiting for the story to progress. So in the interest of that, I'm just going to give people a few more seconds here to think about their choice, and then we'll go ahead and make a executive decision. Let the GM decide. Because ultimately, you know, that's something Shadzar always talked about. The GM is the one who decides. You're the storyteller. You're the game master or dungeon master or whatever. Zargon in HeroQuest terms. And it's your show, so you decide what you think is best. You know, after hearing all the opinions, after reading the rules, which are a guide, not the final say, you have the final say. And the bottom line is if other people don't like it, when it's their turn to be the GM, they can do it how they want to. And that's just how it is. And I'm cool with that. Um, it doesn't have to be strictly democratic. But I like the idea of interaction too. So if you come up with something cool, maybe that leads the adventure in a different direction. Okay. All right, so we are going to go ahead and make a decision. I think I'm going to go with option 1, the hovering tiles. So we're going to do the jump puzzle. That may be good, may be bad, but let's find out. Yeah, I'm going to put my bookmark there just in case. Okay, 73. Walking on the bridge is more difficult than you would expect it. This is because of the uneven coating of fungus and the fact that some of the tiles are tilted at a slight angle. If you have a length of rope, which we do, then you can rope yourselves together and cross without much danger. If not, you might prefer to climb down into the moat and get to the manse that way instead. If you have the rope, turn to 108. Well, that makes it easy. If not, you will still use the bridge. Oh, will you still use the bridge, or will you cross over at the bottom of the moat? Okay, so we do have the rope this time. Last time we had to improvise. We have the rope, so let's go to 108. Okay, 108. You arrive safely at the porch. Well, that was easy. A stout, iron-bound door blocks your way with thorn bushes grown up all over it. The hinges have rusted only slightly through the long years of neglect, and it does not seem you would have much chance of breaking in. A glance along the walls offers no hope of entry through the windows either. Though the lights have fallen in, the stone bars are too closely set for anyone to squeeze through. With its moat and strong defenses, the place could have been built to withstand a siege. Being a frontier manor house, you realize it probably was. With no way of getting inside, your adventure ends before it has hardly begun. Or is there a way? Experienced adventurers ought to be able to think of something. But don't hold your breath waiting for a clue. If you really cannot think of anything better, then you can return across the bridge and clamber down into the moat. Turn to 85. Huh. Okay. Well, if you can't think of anything better, well, they don't really give you much choice there. So I guess we're going back to 85 then. Whoops. I know, I could have rewatched the video and remembered what the choice actually did. Let's go to 85. Okay. You clamber down the sides of the trench into the thick shadows. The bottom of the moat feels slimy underfoot, knotted with weeds. A toad croaks once, unseen in the gloom. If the dwarf is still with the party, why, yes, he is. Turn to 119. If the dwarf has been lost on the way here, turn to 129. Well, thankfully, the dwarf is still with us. Dwarf, you still with us? There he is. He hasn't lost any body points. Okay, so the dwarf is still in the party. Let's go to 119. Is he going to figure out a trap for us? Or how to defuse a trap? Detect or disarm. Okay, you spot a secret tunnel. Ah, he likes secret doors too. You spot a secret tunnel entrance in the wall of the trench. This feature is common in isolated manor houses. An insurance allowing the occupants to escape if the manor should be besieged in time of war. You make your way along the tunnel until it widens out into a flight of stone steps. These bring you up inside the manor, where you emerge via a concealed panel below the main staircase. Cheers, dead gamer. Just getting a swig of tea there. Turn to 6. Okay, paragraph 6. So we're moving right along. We're getting some momentum here. You step into the dilapidated entrance hall. Your first impression is of cobwebs and dust. The second impression is less favorable. Rats, startled by your arrival, emit frantic squeaks and go scuttling half-glimpsed into the darkness. You gaze up the long sweep of the stairs. Under the grime of ages, a succession of nefarious faces glower from portraits on the walls. Each looks more depraved than the one before, until finally your eyes come to rest on what must be the likeness of Grim Dugald himself. You cannot even begin to imagine what twisted desires and rank indulgences could have formed those gross features. The hot jowls, the obscene smile, and the stare brimming with cruel delight. The devil wore a human face, that would be it. You tear your gaze away despite a horrified fascination. Off to one side, below the stairs, steps lead down to the cellar. At the back of the hall is an archway. On the lintel over this is displayed Dugald's coat of arms, a raised fist in scarlet, bearing a flail on an ebon field. Okay, here's our choice, everybody. We've got 3 choices. If you go up the stairs, that's option 1. If you go through the archway, option 2. If you descend to the cellar, option 3. Let's put the timer on screen. Once again, just to give you a reminder. So I'm going to give people 30 seconds to make a decision, to make a choice in the Twitch chat. So option 1, go up the stairs. Option 2, archway. Option 3, cellar. I think last time we were speculating. Grim Dugald is a nasty guy, so does he put all the stuff in the dungeon, in the basement? Or would we go up the archway where his coat of arms is? So maybe that's his main headquarters. Or do we go up the stairs? Option 1, stairs. Option 2, archway. Option 3, cellar. Anybody have any thoughts or want to just vote? So you can vote in the Twitch chat if you're watching this live. Anybody? I know we can't do the timer super strictly because I think there's like a 15, 20-second delay. So I'll give everybody a few more minutes, a few more seconds here. Make a decision. Option 1, stairs. Option 2, archway. Option 3, cellar. It must be dinner time. I think I'm catching some people, so sorry about that. But yeah, this won't appear on YouTube for 24 hours, so keep you in suspense till then. Just kidding. Well, that's the affiliate rule. So I'll probably do some stuff exclusively on YouTube, and then other stuff will be on Twitch first, then it'll appear on YouTube. So I guess there's benefits to being part of HeroQuest fans either way. If you like our content, you want to see it continue, if we want to make suggestions. And once again, today, I mean, we are celebrating the fact that we are affiliates now here on HeroQuest fans. Thanks to everyone's support, but also keeping in mind not everybody is as fortunate as we are. Shadzar is having a tough time. His family's facing eviction, elderly folks with medical bills, and so we are soliciting donations on his behalf. I mean, it's going straight to him, not to me, on Streamlabs. So if you want, go to streamlabs.com/Shadzar/tip and support him there. All right, so I think that's been plenty of time. I'm going to go ahead and pick one. I'm just not sure which one I want to do, though. Stairs, archway, cellar. I mean, cellar sounds like the safest place, right? Oh, wait, no, it's not. Or if we go right to his inner sanctum. I mean, you're a hero, right? Brash, bold, do what you want. Maybe it's best to just face him head on. Seems like a nasty guy. I'm thinking let's go to the archway. So this is option 2 that I'm choosing. So we'll see if that's wise or not. All right, so go to 51. You proceed over to the arch. Cobwebs, heavy with an accumulation of dust, hang across it like moldy fabric. Grimacing in distaste, you brush them aside and hold your breath while the dust subsides. Beyond the arch, you can now see a room which may once have been a study. There is a desk covered with yellow scraps of parchment, on top of which rests a quill pen. You also see several books. On the wall behind the desk hangs a dark oval mirror in a tarnished frame. If you take a look at the desk, go to 86. So that's going to be option 1, look at the desk. If you go over for a closer look in the mirror, turn to 97. So that's option 2, mirror. If you have not gone upstairs and wish to do so now, turn to 39. So that's option 3. If you want to descend into the cellars, turn to 62, option 4. Okay, so once again, this is decision time, voting. We've got our timer on screen there. So option 1 is the desk. Option 2 is the mirror. Option 3, go upstairs. Option 4, go to the cellar. So they're giving us a chance again. So going upstairs and going to the cellars were in the previous decision. But we haven't looked at the desk before, and we haven't looked at the mirror before. I'm thinking magic mirror could be good, could be bad. Desk, I mean, there could be something useful on the desk. We're trying to get this guy, this Grimdu Gald. Maybe there's some clue on how to defeat him, or at least find out where he is. Because they're trying to save this captured maid. I'm inclined to think it's probably what I would choose is either looking at the desk or looking in the mirror, because those are brand new choices. I have no idea what they could lead to. I'm just not sure which one. Maybe the desk first, because I'm thinking of Alice in Wonderland. You know, you get those clues, they can be misleading, but maybe that'll give us a clue whether the mirror is something we want to look at or not. Like maybe there's a note saying, "Don't look in that mirror." Well, look closer at the mirror. Of course, maybe while we're reading the notes, somebody will sneak up on us. I mean, who's to say? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and make a choice here, make an executive decision. The GM gets to decide. So we'll just turn off our timer for now. I'm going to go ahead and look at the desk. So let's go to 86 and see what happens. We've come this far. 86. It strikes you as odd that the books and papers scattered here are not coated in the same thick layer of grime that shrouds everything else in the house. Aha. Then you notice a glistening black stain on the end of the quill, and touching it, you find it is wet. You hold your fingers up. Could the wetness be dark red ink or something else? In the poor light, it is impossible to say for sure. If the wizard is here, turn to 109. If not, you can now examine the mirror. Return and take a look upstairs or descend into the cellar. Okay, well, the wizard is here. Maybe he can figure out what's going on. All right, so we're going to go to 109. Dave Morris, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. You can take a bottle of ink and or a sheet of blank parchment from among the items on the desk, should you wish. Remember to note them on your character sheet if you do. The ability to read and write is not common in your medieval world, but naturally the wizard is literate and soon deciphers the faded inscriptions on the books. One thick tome describes itself as the Journal of Dugald of Knocklore. You open it. At the start are entries dating back many decades, and you can hardly bear to read them because they detail acts of shuddering depravity. Then, at a point about 30 years ago, a bizarre change comes over the entries. The writing from here on is written back to front, as though seen in a mirror, and the ink is rusty red-brown. Then you remember, 30 years ago was when Grim Dugald died. If you carry the book over to the mirror to read the latest entry, turn to 120. If you have finished here, you could take a look upstairs or go down to the cellar. See, they keep giving us the options to turn back. So I almost think it's like Vigo in Ghostbusters 2. It's like he's a guy who came into some enormous evil, started writing his diary in blood. So, okay, so we have a decision to make. If you want to vote, want to participate, interact in the Twitch chat. Option 1, take the book to the mirror to read the mirror writing. Option 2, go upstairs. Option 3, go to the cellar. I know what I would choose, but let's see, because I'm thinking we need to do more investigation. Let's throw the timer up there. Now, it also says we can take the ink and or the paper, the parchment. So let me check our character sheet here. Do we even have room for those items? We have one slot left. Now I'm not wanting to lose any weapons. I'm not wanting to lose the holy water, the rope, the garlic, the breastplate. We could take. Should we take the bottle of ink or should we take the parchment, the blank parchment? Of course, we don't know if it's regular or if it's magical. The ink might be blood. I mean, let's. I'm going to say let's give the bottle of ink to the dwarf. I mean, hopefully we won't regret it, but we'll see. So we'll say red ink. Yeah, sorry about my handwriting there. It looks like red ink. Rad, dude. Yeah, I need one of those like writing assistants on there. Yeah. I'm also a little tired, but I'm having fun so far. It's fun to read these little novels and see, voice from the past, give you some maybe fantasy inspiration. People have actually made quests, like Hero Quest quests based on these novels. They've like written their own adventures. So you can check those out on Ye Olde Inn if you're interested. TheOldInn.com. Let me just check the chat here. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us on HeroQuest fans, by the way. Whether you're joining us now for the first time or you've been a longtime supporter, if you visited us in the past, I really enjoy doing this. It is fun. There's definitely future streams. I want to do all kinds of stuff. I mean, I definitely want to keep playing HeroQuest Live, which we're going to try to do some of that. We're going to play tomorrow, so Saturday, 6 to 10 ish p.m. We're going to be playing live HeroQuest again using the remake set, but we're with a mixture of classic elements as well. We'll probably pick up and play the Barbarian Quest pack again because we're still trying to beat that first quest. We've made it quite a ways through the Xanon Pass, but it's a really difficult quest and we have not finished it yet. So there's that. I definitely want to talk about some more game books. I have a whole bunch of these, not just HeroQuest, but also Narnia. There's some Dungeons and Dragons ones. There's Star Wars. There's Lone Wolf. There's Way of the Tiger. I mean, we could do a special on game books. And I know lots of other people have done it, but I mean, just actually sitting down and reading them. And I'm really indebted to Covert Nerd Podcast. They interviewed me twice, which thank you for doing that. That helps us. It was also a lot of fun interacting with Lee, talking about HeroQuest. And he also interviewed a couple other people from the HeroQuest community, old school fans and everything. But yeah, Covert Nerd, he reads the Choose Your Own Adventure books and he does an interactive thing like this. And yeah, it's gonna be tough because not everybody is responding quickly enough for you to like keep it going. But I like the idea that hey, if people want to make a suggestion, they can. If they want to jump in and give their 2 cents worth, or just enjoy the story. So I definitely want to do streams relating to that kind of stuff. And definitely as time goes on and more we learn more HeroQuest news, do that. And I definitely want to get back and play Space Crusade again because I'm really liking that game. Even though it's not one that I grew up with, it is related to HeroQuest and is really cool. I mean, it's like the Warhammer 40K. If HeroQuest was the Warhammer Fantasy Battle, then it's the Warhammer 40K like board game, and it's pretty neat. It's got some cool miniatures. Anyway, back to the story. So we took the bottle of ink, and I think we're going to go ahead and just decide to go over to the mirror to read the mirror writing. So that's option one. So we're picking option one. I guess I could be voting myself in the chat. Let me see how to do that. Okay, so I'm clicking on the gold coins. Let's see. Oh, they call them channel points. That's what it is. Get started. Okay, so you click on get started and it says rewards and challenges. So what I did was I put a black one where it just says technical difficulty. So that's for you guys to warn me and say, hey, there's problems with the stream. Option one is red. I'll probably do custom graphics for this later, but red is option one. Yellow is option three. Oh, these are out of order. Sorry about that. I'm looking at this for the first time myself here. I can always tweak this. Yeah, option 3 is yellow. Option 4 is green. Option 2 is blue. So I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that allows us to make choices in the book. And then for 25 gold coins, you can buy a dagger, which is highlight your message. For 100 gold coins, you can buy a staff, which is to unlock a random sub emote. Don't ask me what a sub emote is. I'm still learning. 125 is gold coins is a helmet. This is choose an emote to unlock. And I've got to add emotes too. So I think right now we just have generic ones. So I don't blame you if you don't pick that right off the bat. And then we've got a short sword, which is 150 gold. That's send a message in sub only mode. And then we've got a broadsword for 350 gold. That's too expensive. It should be 250. Whoops. Modify single emote. Yeah, I'll have to change that. It should only be 250. I made it 350. That was a mistake on my part. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's say yeah, we did option 1. So I'm going to vote option 1, so I get my vote on the screen. There we go. But I mean, I have infinite gold, so I guess I could be voting along with you. All right, so 120. The later entries are at intervals of 1 year apart, always dated this night, Samhain Eve, when the spirits of the dead are said to walk the earth. The last reads, so this is the mirror writing. Awoke early and watched the daylight drain out of the carcass of the sky. Darkness and cold surrounded me still. Before cockcrow I must find another with rich, full veins and the succulent bloom of life. Another little flower to press dry for my collection. Another fruiting body to savor. This doesn't seem as bad as some of the entries you think. At least Grim Dugald is developing an interest in horticulture to balance against his less wholesome obsessions. But wait, something is happening to the mirror. Turn to 97. Just pop another throat lozenge there. 97. A face swims out of the depths of the mirror, as though rising out of the glaucous murk of a deep pond. It has slitted red eyes, short horns, ears that taper to points, and a grin full of fangs and malevolence. It peers at the player in front of the mirror, this would be the barbarian, as if seeing him in a glass darkly. You get the feeling that it is not very bright. After a moment's thought, it gives a shake of its head, feigning a look of regret that is belied by its sadistic smile. No luck for you today, my friend, it says, waving a taloned finger. You're holding a book up to the mirror. If you're holding a book up to the mirror, then the wizard is the person affected. Oh, okay. So it's the wizard. Otherwise, it's whoever is first in the battle order. That player vanishes into thin air. Uh-oh. If that player was on his or her own, turn to 130, otherwise 18. So the wizard has just been vanished, whatever that means. Oh, man. So we don't really know where he went. Did he get sucked into the mirror? No luck for you, my friend. Oops. So we'll just put a question mark. He's been vanished. So we'll go to 18. Now, who is wearing that breastplate? Does it protect him at all? I mean, he's got magic. I mean, he's got everything. You just insta-kill him. Okay. By means of its magic, the mirror demon has either atomized your poor friend or consigned him or her to a hidden oubliette. Ah, yes, a place of forgetting. You must try to effect a rescue, but how? If you want to try using an item, turn to 29. So that's option 1. If you confront the demon and demand your friend's return, turn to 40. If you smash the mirror, turn to 52. Well, that's the thing. Smashing the mirror would be option 3. That might trap him, actually. Or it might break the spell, so to speak. If you confront the demon, we'll probably have to fight him, which is fine. Yeah, kick his butt around and make him give up our friend. Or maybe he'd be more than a match for us. I mean, it sounded like he wasn't very smart. Maybe we can trick him. Of course, if we can do that to the wizard, maybe he can do that to any of us. If we try to use an item, maybe one of our items could get him. Let's see. So we don't have the breastplate anymore or the dagger, but maybe. I mean, we've got rope, we've got garlic, got holy water, we've got red ink. Yeah, I mean, holy water against a demon, you'd think maybe that would work. Okay, so we're gonna vote now. Anybody who wants to interact? Option 1, use an item. Option 2, demand the release of the wizard. Option 3, smash the mirror. So please vote if you're able. Option 1, use an item. Option 2, confront the demon and demand the release of the wizard. Option 3, smash the mirror. If I were to choose, I would say use an item. That's my thought. I mean, option 2 sounds cool, like challenge him. I mean, maybe he'll back down. Or maybe he'll zap another person in there. Smashing the mirror kind of sounds like, I mean, it would be such an easy way to defeat him, but it might trap the wizard forever. Of course, maybe the wizard can come back and join us. Where is he? He's in an oubliette. Hidden. Or he's dead. All right, let's hide that character sheet and we'll put the timer back on screen. I'll give you 30 seconds to make a choice. Option 1, use an item. Option 2, demand the release. Option 3, smash the mirror. So we're going to say 30 seconds. Again, we're about 15-second delay here, so sorry for that. Here's our 3 options. So yeah, just click on your gold coins, redeem 1 gold coin, choose option 1, 2, or 3. Just a few more seconds here. Oh, now we got a big delay. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and choose. I'm not sure which one is the right one, but I'm tempted to use an item. So let's just say option 1. So I'm going to vote myself. All right, so we chose option 1. We're going to try to use an item. Okay, which item will you use? So we got a new choice. Option 1 is a bottle of ink. So we'll keep the timer going there. Option 1 is a bottle of ink. Option 2 is a sprig of garlic. Option 3 is a phial of holy water. If you do not have any of these, or if the item you are intended to use is not on the list, then turn to 98. So we've got all 3 items. We've got the ink, we've got the garlic, we've got the holy water. Now, my thought is option 1, the ink, that's something we just got, and it's right there. So what are the odds that that would help us? Probably pretty good. I don't know which is the right option. Now the garlic, does the demon not like garlic? Does he really like garlic? Holy water, you'd think, oh, that's pretty obvious. But maybe not so obvious. I mean, maybe that ink, I mean, it has something to do with Grim Dugald. He was using the ink, apparently, to write his diary. And the demon seemed, whatever it is, seemed disappointed that it wasn't him in the mirror, that it was the wizard instead. And presumably the wizard disappeared with the book, with the diary. But what? Maybe does the ink have any power over him? I'm inclined to say option 1. But if anybody disagrees and think we should use the garlic or the holy water, let me know. I think it's probably either the ink or the holy water. I'm not sure the garlic would really be the thing. If you're not intending to use on the list, we could just say none of the above. That would be option 4, if anybody thinks option 4. All right, just a few more seconds, and I'm going to make my choice. Thinking the ink, probably. I mean, it might be blood, or it might be magic, or it might just be dark red ink. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and make a choice here. Just hide the countdown clock. All right, let's go with the ink. We'll go to 63. If that's wrong, we can try again. 63. You try flinging the ink over the mirror, figuring that if the image of the demon is obscured, then perhaps its enchantments will be broken. You do hear it give an angry snarl as the blot of ink covers the glass, but other than this, there is no effect. Your lost friend does not reappear. The best you can do now is honor his or her memory, by continuing with the quest. Oh man, we lost the wizard. You turn and head towards the cellar door, vowing that all the foul fiends that dwell in this haunted manse will pay for what happened to your friend. Remember to cross the ink off your character sheet. Darn. Okay, well, I guess that wasn't right. But we live with the consequences. So we can always come back to that, but I think for now, I guess it sounds like we just lost the wizard. That's a shame. I was just getting to like him. So we'll just cross him off for now. It didn't say that he's necessarily dead, but let's do that. And the ink is gone. So the dwarf was carrying the red ink, so we'll just get rid of that. I don't know. If the wizard's not dead, I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that he could use. He could fight his way out, but until we know for sure, I guess we just have to continue on without him. Okay, that was 62. Rickety steps lead you down to a cellar whose frosty, dust-filled air almost makes you choke. You advance between racks of wine bottles, whose labels date back over many years. You notice one vintage reclining under a thick gathering of grime of over a century ago. If you wish to take one of the bottles of wine, remember to record it on your character sheet. Well, it's the least we can do for our friend, but I'm not sure if we have room for the wine. Yeah, I guess we could give it to the dwarf because we got rid of the red ink and now we've got the wine. So we'll take wine. No cheese with our wine. Add that to the character sheet. Oh, you didn't see me do that. Sorry, I wrote it. I wrote it on the character sheet. So see, there we got the wine to replace the ink. All right. You find a door at the back of the cellar. Beyond lies a sloping passage that seems to lead down into still deeper catacombs. The darkness returns your gaze, heavy with foreboding. But it is down there, no doubt, that you will face your destiny. Before entering the ominous passage, however, you glance back along the wine racks. You might never again get the chance to visit such a well-stocked cellar. Perhaps there is time to sample just a few goblets of one of the rarer vintages. If you tarry a while to see what the wine is like, turn to 30. If you think you'd better not lose any time, descend to the catacombs by turning to 41. Okay, so we've got a choice once again. Option 1, sample the wine. Option 2, get going. See, I'm thinking this is one of those tests, they're testing your heroism. Are you going to get some liquid courage? Maybe it's magical wine. Maybe it'll help you. Or maybe it's poison. Maybe it's bad, Maybe it'll hinder you. Maybe you'll be a little tipsy for battles to come. If you steal the guy's wine and he's there, he's gonna be mad. Of course, you've already messed up his mirror, and you're gonna try to take his hostage away from him. So I'm sure he'll be mad enough about that, and he seems like a nasty guy, this Grim Dugald character. So option 1, to sample the wine. Option 2, keep on going. I'm inclined to keep on going, but I'll let you guys influence my decision if you want. Option 1, please vote, is the sample the wine. Option 2, continue on. Anybody? I suppose you could memorize my answers for next time if you wanted. Okay, I'm going to give people a few more seconds to make a decision here. I know the timer isn't perfect. It's 15, 20 seconds off. Say another 10 seconds. All right. I don't see any votes, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick one. I'm going to say go with the safe choice. Don't test the wine. Just go with option 2. All right. Continuing on. 41. It's going to be tough without the wizard. Okay. 41. Really? Okay. You go deep down into the earth. Finally, you emerge from the tunnel in a cave so vast that you cannot see the walls or the roof at all. A torch glimmers in a bracket on the wall beside you. If there are any mortal players left, the wizard and the barbarian, then you must take the torch, as otherwise they will be unable to see. You will have to retain it while in the catacombs as long as the barbarian and the wizard survive. The elf and the dwarf have good enough night vision not to need torchlight. Turn to 53. Did I turn to the right page? All right. I'm going to go back here and just check. I may be getting a little tired here, folks. Sorry. No, it says 41. That's correct. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So we now go to 53 because there's no choice. We just move on. You reach the edge of a subterranean lake, but the water and your surroundings are so silent and black that you almost seem to be in a void. You see only the white stone quay underfoot, the gleam of torchlight on the still water, and a white lacquered rowboat tethered to a bollard on the quay. If anyone wants to drink some of the lake water, decide who will do so and then turn to 65. If you get into the boat and start rowing, turn to 76. Okay, so option 1, it's choice time. Option 1 is drink some of the water. If anyone wants to drink some of the water. Option 2, get in the boat and start rowing. My inclination is this is an evil place. Again, they're tempting us with drinking the wine. Now they're tempting us drinking the water. I don't know. Nobody's taken any damage yet. So if it's like healing water, would it do anything? Can we take some of it with us? We don't have any empty bottles. Now we do have to take a torch. I forgot about that. I'm inclined to say option 2, get into the boat and start rowing. But if anybody wants option 1, please vote. Let's get our character sheet back up. We've got to give somebody the torch to carry the torch. So do we have room for it? Is the thing. We may have to give up something. We've got rope, we've got garlic, holy water, wine. We've got six silver pieces. Are we going to be bribing anybody at this point? I'm tempted to say let's get rid of the money and carry the torch because we need the torch, otherwise we can't see. The barbarian can't see. So I'm going to lose the money. And say torch. Yeah, it looks like a little kid's writing. Oh, well. You know, you could be reading this book as a little kid, 8-year-old or whatever. Okay, so we're waiting to make a choice. Drink the water, option 1. Get in the boat, start rowing, option 2. I'm going to say option 2, unless anybody has any objections. So once more, I'm going to plug streamlabs.com/Shadzar/tip. I don't get anything from this, but Shadzar is in a bad way with his family, so please, if you want, go ahead and contribute something. Send him a tip on Streamlabs. Help him out in his time of need. Thanks, everybody, for your generosity. All right, so we're going back to our choice. Okay, so I'm going to say option 2, start rowing. So I'm going to go ahead and vote. Choose option 2. Okay. So get in the boat and start rowing 76. So we're going to 76. All right, 76. The oars fall almost without sound into the opaque waters. You drift out from the quay surrounded by an eerie hush. You've not been rowing for long when a landing stage comes in sight. This is also of white stone, like the quay you set out from. It is completely surrounded by water. In the middle, you can see a small shrine, like the shrines of pagan times, consisting of a marble dome, supported by pillars carved into the shape of human figures. As a tasteless and gruesome embellishment, the figures are depicted bound in shackles, as though being stretched on a rack. You cannot see clearly into the shrine, except to tell there's something large resting on the altar stone. If you dock at the landing stage, turn to 99. If you row past in search of the far shore of the lake, turn to 111. Okay, decision time. I'm inclined to think we need to get going, but option 1 is dock at the landing stage so we can investigate this heathen altar. Option 2 is row past to the far side of the lake. So option 1 or option 2? I know, do all the side quests, right? Well, maybe, maybe not. I mean, after we lost the wizard, I'm almost thinking exploring side quests is not a great idea. But what do I know, right? I don't know. So I'm just going to give everybody some time if you want to vote. Make a decision here. So option 1, explore the altar area. Option 2, continue on. Elviler redeemed option 2. Okay, so he wants to move on. Well, great. Thank you, Elviler, for voting. Anybody else? I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Option 1, explore. Option 2, keep on going. So far, we're going with option 2. Definitely more fun when people participate. But on the other hand, I know people are doing other stuff. Maybe you're listening while you're traveling or doing some other activity and you can't really click on anything. Okay, all right. We're going to go with option 2. Thanks, by the way. All right, so option 2, we're going to move on. 111. 111. This, of course, is Dave Morris, Fellowship of Four, HeroQuest novel on HeroQuest Fans stream on Twitch. We'll get the replay on YouTube as quick as we can, but we're going to have to wait 24 hours because of the affiliate agreement. Okay, eventually you reach the far side of the lake. Unlike the quay you set out from, this is not a man-made landing place, but a shore of white pebbles. Dragging the boat up onto the beach so that it will not drift off, you commence a search of the area. Quite soon you find a locked door in the back wall of the cave. It is of stout, bronze-bound oak. Pressing your ear to the door, you can just make out a sound like muffled sobs. If you have the bronze key and wish to use it, turn to 77. Oh man, we don't have the bronze key. Okay. If not, turn to 66. Oh, I'm just realizing maybe we should have stayed and searched. Maybe that's where the key was. Started to remember. Okay, well, we live with our mistakes. All right. So option one, we don't have. So we have to go to 66. Maybe there's some other way we can get that thing open because it sounds like there's somebody inside that needs our help. Do all the side quests, he said. He was right. I think that was Stryker that said that. Okay, so we'll go back to 66. This may be one of these adventures that you have to play a couple of times before you get everything right. I mean, you buy the book or you get it from the library, and that's what you do. There is nowhere else to go from here apart from through the door. So you row back to the other side of the lake in hope of finding a key. Oh, there you go. You retrace your steps through the cellar. You emerge into the entrance hall, then freeze. You're not alone here now. Turn to 89. Okay. 89. Okay. Grim Dugald stands in the gloom of the hall. He's been waiting for you. Uh-oh. His flesh is the color of candlelight, and the other-world energies have swollen his already huge frame until his head almost scrapes the rafters. His eyes, two icy pebbles in the mistletoe of his beard and hair, roll horribly, and he sees you. And as he sees you, his growl of hate is like the howl of a hanged man. Do you have an item you want to use? If so, turn to 112. Otherwise, turn to 123. Well, we do have items. You know, I was hoping we'd have some items because last time we didn't have anything. Well, we had barely anything because we didn't go searching for them. So let's go to 112. This is the guy that we've got to take out. So let's see if we can make it. All right, 112. Which of the following will you try? A phial of holy water and a bottle of wine? Well, we do have that combination. So that's option one. So water and wine. Option two, holy water on its own. Option three, garlic. If you have none of these or you don't think they would be of any use, to 123. Well, let's think about this. So he's the bad guy. He seems to be dead or undead or ghostly or something. He's not quite normal human. And so you would think maybe garlic, maybe holy water. I'm not sure what holy water combined with wine would do. Now, this is wine that we took from the cellar. So is it something that is like helpful to him, or is it harmful to him, or is it just ordinary wine? Now, if it's ordinary wine, would it dilute the holy water's effect somehow? I don't know how that works in this universe. So it's a good question. So option one kind of sounds cool. Option two might be the same or not as good, or it might be better. Option three, garlic. I'm not sure if the garlic would make much of a difference. I mean, is he a vampire? He does talk about drinking blood. Of course, you'd think in that case, if he's a vampire, because vampires do exist in HeroQuest, would the garlic would probably have an effect. The holy water would probably have an effect. It's a toss up. So option one, holy water plus wine. Option two, holy water only. Option three, garlic. Option four, don't do any of these. So anybody have a thought? Go ahead and type it in the Twitch chat or vote. Option one, two, three, or four. I'll give everybody 30 seconds to decide. So option one, once again, holy water plus wine. Option two, holy water only. Option three, garlic. Option four, none of the above. All right. Just waiting, giving people an opportunity to respond if they want to. Now, if you're watching this on the replay, of course, I don't blame you for skipping ahead because you want to know. I'm just keeping you in suspense. We should have some like suspenseful music playing. Of course, you always got to worry about copyright strikes, and you got to worry about, Twitch has its own. Does Twitch use its own like canned music that's like royalty free that you don't have to worry about? And then YouTube has its own. So anyway, I can look into that for future streams. So for now, we don't have any dramatic music or drum rolls or anything. All right, we're gonna have to make a decision. So I don't know. I have no idea what the holy water plus wine is gonna do. I'm thinking maybe. Oh, Elviler agrees. He's voting, or she. I don't know. Sorry, I keep wanting to say Elvira. I'm so sorry. It's always on the tip of my tongue. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. But no, you're saying Elviler. You're saying option one. So water plus wine. I'm tending to think that probably too. But so that's one vote for that. Anybody else have any thoughts? Anything different? Or you agree? So if you're watching this on the replay and you're thinking like, I know the answer. Oh, why did they do that? Why did they do that? Or you're thinking, good job, guys. You guessed correctly. All right. If nobody else has a thought, I'm gonna agree with that, and I'm just gonna go with option one. So let's see if it has a helpful effect for us. 133. I mean, maybe we'll singe him with the holy water, and he'll be mad that we trashed some of his wine. 133. You look at the bottle you took from the cellar. Chateau Guignal, an opaque red wine of unspecified vintage. Rapidly uncorking it, you add a measure of holy water to the contents, and then pretend to drink. Grim Dugald steps closer, each step shaking the floorboards. But he pauses when he sees you taking a swig of wine, and a bestial growl wells up from his inhuman throat. Suddenly, teeth bared and a mad grin of fury, he thrusts out his hand to take the bottle. Aye, you say. If we're to duel, then to the death it is. Let's drink to it, eh? His huge hand snatches the bottle and takes a deep draught, draining it all. Then he smashes the bottle in a corner, and wiping the crimson juice out of his beard, strides forward to do battle. Suddenly he stops, his titanic frame locked rigid. He starts to raise his arms, but they seem to weigh him down like blocks of lead. His eyes start from his head, and his veins show gray against the sallow flesh. Then, with a hideous wail escaping his lips, all the while, he slowly fades away like a nightmare at the coming of dawn. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Okay, so you get the vampire guy to drink it. So presumably it's some kind of blood, but it's full of holy water, which is his bane. And so that takes him out. Amazing. Cool. Nice work. Or is it going to be that easy? We'll find out. So go to 32. 32. You have seen to the final dissolution of Grim Dugald's specter. Now you can justifiably turn your attention to his treasure. Aha! This is what PSK came for. He's listening to us on Discord. Your eyes alight on a large chest beside the front door. It wasn't there when you came in, so presumably Dugald was just in the act of dragging it somewhere when you ascended from the cellar. You go over and take a look at it. There's a large padlock, but fortuitously, Dugald has left the key in this. If you want to open the chest, turn to 44. If you're not interested in material reward, you may as well return to the village. Turn to 113. Well, now wait a minute. We lost a perfectly good wizard on this adventure. He gave his life in service to the cause, and I feel like we need some compensation, if nothing else, to give him a decent burial, decent funeral, because we don't have his body. So we've got option one: open the chest. Option two: return to the village. So which should we choose? I know when I'm making the decision, I'm not always voting for an option. I suppose I should, and I should label them so that we can kind of keep track. So I'm just getting used to the system here. So now the key is already in the lock. It could be a trap, but we do have the dwarf still with us. So hopefully the dwarf can detect a trap. If not, what's he been doing this whole time? So open the chest, option 1. Option 2, go back to the village. Elviler, did you check for traps? Well, it doesn't say we can, but I'm thinking, so it's not an action that they give you in the book, but they do say here earlier, they say that the dwarf can detect traps. So I assume if he's with us, they'll probably ask, is the dwarf still with you? And if so, then we'll be able to avoid it. So the dwarf is strong in battle and also has an uncanny knack for spotting traps and secret doors. So that's what it says. So yeah, we don't have an active check, but I think we'll be okay in that regard. So option 1, I think it's automatic. So we're gonna say it's auto, I think. So I'm inclined to say option 1 that we should open the chest. But I agree with you. If they throw a trap at us and we have no way of like dodging it, that would be a really cheap way to take us out. Yeah, you open the chest and there's this huge bomb inside that blows up all the heroes. That would be a shame. All right, a few more seconds. We need to make our decision. So option 1, open the chest. Option 2, go back to the village. I mean, we lost a wizard. We didn't rescue the prisoner. And we wouldn't have any treasure either. And I gave up the money so that we could continue on. Lost our 6 silver pieces because they use limited carrying capacity. Now in the board game, you could carry as much as you wanted. You didn't have to worry about encumbrance. All right, we're gonna go ahead and make a decision. I'm gonna say option 1. Let's open the chest. And if I'm wrong, it's all on me. All right, option 1, opening the chest. I'll just put our finger there here. 44. If the dwarf is still with the party, turn to 56. Ha! I totally called that. If not, turn to 68. So that's probably our opportunity, as Elviler said so wisely, that we should make sure there's no traps. If the dwarf is there, this is his time to shine. He can detect the trap. I think it's automatic. I don't think you have to like roll anything like you do in the board game. In the board game, you'd have to roll a combat die. I mean, we could even do that here. We could we're right here, by the way. We could roll it, and if it was a black shield, he gets hit. But if it's anything else, he's fine. But I don't think you have to do that. I think it just tells you. So, because they don't assume that you even own the game, that you have the combat dice. They just assume you've got, one of these or one of these, just a regular uh, D6 for random event stuff. Okay, so 44. The dwarf is still with the party. He certainly is. Let's go to 56. The dwarf, by virtue of long familiarity with intricate mechanisms, immediately spots a trap. Good. This comprises a hidden spring-loaded needle, almost certainly coated in poison, built into the hasp of the chest. Once detected, the trap is easily disarmed, and you open the chest to discover a lavish hoard of gold, silver, and precious gems. Cha-ching! You draw your breath in awe as the torchlight sparkles on this prize and reflects lustrously back into your eyes. To the victors, as they say, go the spoils. If you'd rescued the girl Perdita, turn to 79. If Perdita is not with you, turn to 91. Well, unfortunately, see, they said that we could go back for the key, but then they didn't let us do that. It just basically implied that, you can go back for it, but That's it. She's not with us. So unfortunately, this might be our bittersweet victory. Let me just check again. If anybody has any thought on this, like when I was reading, like if I'm reading and I miss something obvious, I mean I'm gonna feel kind of silly, but you make mistakes. It sometimes happens. Let's see. Poor Pordita. Because that was the whole reason we went to save her. I mean, we did wipe out this bad guy, so I suppose we did a good thing there, and we did recover the treasure, which he no doubt has gotten in an ill-gotten way. Yeah, I'm just probably gonna have to go back over it because can you have your cake and eat it too? I mean, sometimes you just don't solve everything, every adventure. We may have to go back and try it again, maybe with a new audience who doesn't remember the previous choices, and it'll be a fresh adventure. Yeah, we're just gonna say sorry. We didn't get the key. We didn't unlock. That was probably her in that closet or whatever it was, that bronze door. So Perdita's not with us. Turned to 91. I mean, it's not our fault she died, if she did. 91. You close the lid of the chest and carry it back across the moors. If anything, it seems to get heavier with every step, but it is a burden you do not mind bearing. After all, with such wealth as this, you will be able to travel in a gilded carriage from now on. As you strain to heft it across hedgerows and ditches, you begin to dream of all the luxuries you will be able to buy: jeweled swords, amulets, silken clothes, and fine furs. Why, there are kings on their thrones who command less wealth than you now possess. At last, reaching the road that leads into the village, you set the chest down to catch your breath. It wouldn't hurt to take one more peek at the treasure. Nobody could really say you were gloating, could they? Heroes do not gloat. I'm not sure I like the way this is going. Let's see. You are fairly tingling with anticipation as you lift the lid. Then your jaw sags and your eyes are frozen in their sockets from sheer dismay. The treasure is gone. In its place, the chest contains nothing but twigs and dead leaves. What trickery is this? You stuff your hands deep into the chest and burrow about, but you cannot find so much as a single copper coin. Slumping to the ground with a groan, you bury your head in your hands and weep. When you have quite recovered from this unseemly outburst, turn to 113. Oh man, darn. So we did all that, and we got nothing to show for it. You tricked us. I mean, we did wipe out the bad guy, so that's still something. But, wow. 113. Did you rescue the milkmaid Perdita from Grim Dugald's clutches? Wow, way to rub it in. If Perdita's not with you, turn to 114. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. 114. You return to the village just as the sun is rising. The villagers unbolt their doors and emerge into the daylight. From their blanched and drawn faces, you suspect that few of them got any sleep during the night. When they see that you have not returned with the missing girl, they give sullen shrugs and return to their daily routines. That's typical of these so-called heroes, you hear someone mutter. True, says another one. They only stir themselves for the big tasks like saving the world, exploits they consider worthy of their attention. One poor life isn't important enough for the likes of them, says a third, throwing you a sour glance. You watch them for a moment or two, and then head on your way. But those stinging words still remain to haunt you for years to come. With that, everybody, we've come to the end. Wow. So the first time we read this book, we got the bad ending. We got killed. Everybody died. Total party kill, as they say. TPK. This time, we killed the bad guy. We didn't get any treasure. We lost one of our own. We still don't know to this day what happened to the wizard. Is he dead? Is he trapped in another dimension? Is he imprisoned behind the mirror? What happened? And we didn't get to save the milkmaid, so she probably fell victim to this vampire. or she's still locked in that closet. So anyway, that's the end of the story. Thank you, everybody. We'll have to try one more time in the future, play Fellowship of Four. Tomorrow, the plan is we're going to play some Hero Quest. If nobody shows up, we might have to improvise a little bit. I mean, I still do have my solo system that involves this bag of tiles. These shadow tiles, I call them, shadow tokens, to do like random monsters and things appearing on the board, which I could play by myself if nobody shows up in the Discord to have a live game. But I mean, if PSK or Strange Bus is available, they've played with us before. If we got some new people, so just check us out on Discord, HeroQuest fans. Obviously here on Twitch, on YouTube. You can message me. You can find me on Ye Old Inn. I go by Kurgan there. And so you can always get in touch if you're interested in coordinating a time. But the plan is tomorrow on the stream, we'll be streaming. Let's see, if we do it live on Twitch, again, they put that 24-hour restriction on us. That's going to be different. Yeah, you're not going to see it on YouTube for like a whole day. It's kind of annoying. Well, I might do something on YouTube just to do it. Do something, record something just so that it isn't just the Twitch people that get everything. Because I'm not trying to ditch one community for the other. I mean, I want to support everybody that's supporting us, give you something to watch. So I might if I have time, I might pre-record something and put it on YouTube. Might be, well, do we have time for Space Crusade? It usually takes a long time. I think we'll definitely do Twitch with Discord. And if we can do something else for YouTube, we will. But at the very least, this stream of Fellowship of Four, read through number 2, will appear on YouTube tomorrow, sometime tomorrow. But from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time, the plan is to do Hero Quest live. So please join us for that. And once more, I want to say shout out to Shadzar. I hope he and his family are doing better. I hope that they can come to some time of resolution. I mean, eviction's a big deal. A lot of people have been evicted, especially I think he's in the U.S. I don't know for sure. Yeah, I think it's pretty certain that he is. I have no idea what state. And I'm not trying to reveal any personal information. I don't want people to post anything. I mean, that's not a good thing to do to somebody. So don't do that. But I mean, he is requesting help. So go to Streamlabs. The only way I know of to help him financially is to go to streamlabs.com/shadzar/tip. And you can tip him and you send him money. So it says $1, $5, $10, $20, or you can write in your own amount. So if it's a matter of like preventing an eviction, I don't know if it's too late for that now. It may be just paying for housing expenses for his family there. They're elderly, have health issues. I guess he's been seeking help in other ways. He mentioned the VA is not able to help. So I think there's one or more veterans involved. He doesn't know about fundraising sites. He wasn't able to get that going. So I guess Streamlabs it is. But yeah, if anybody has contact with Shadzar, wants to get more information, please do so. If he's not comfortable sharing it, of course, we can't force it out of him. If he doesn't need help anymore, okay. But it sounded like he was quitting YouTube because of the situation, that he had to focus on that. So, I mean, you do what you got to do. I mean, when it's your family, you do what you can to help them. So that's understandable. I don't know the guy personally, so I don't know all the details. But just figured here's an opportunity. We do have a bigger platform now, bigger than it was. We do have everything's going okay for me, so I can afford to donate a little bit to help him out. And if anybody else wants to, please feel free. Pay it forward. So I'm going to post the link in the chat just one more time so everybody can see it if they want to help him out. Oh, I forgot. I can put it in Discord as well. Want to donate to help Shadzar's family in their time of need. And again, that was per his request. He didn't seek us out, but I asked him. I went on YouTube because I think that's the only way I know how to communicate with him is I just went to his YouTube channel, commented on one of his videos, just asked him straight up, like, what can we do to help? So I'm going to go ahead and post that in the general chat as well. And I'm going to post a link also to Yield In because there's a thread where we're discussing the situation. And again, that's not to invade his privacy. I don't want to do that. It's just any details. And the thing is, if you hear from him or he wants to talk to us and just send private message, that's cool. If he wants us to take it down, like take down the video or the forum post, I mean, we can take that down. I can always make a follow up saying, hey, stop. He doesn't want any more donations or he doesn't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, cool. Because I'm not out to embarrass anybody. I know asking for help can be hard for people. I mean, you know, it's like swallowing your pride, saying like, hey, I can't do it all. I need some help. And unfortunately, there are people out there that, what do they call it? Grift. They ask for, they beg for money and they don't really need it and they're cheating people. I have no reason to believe that he would do that. So, but I am taking on good faith that he really does need help. And so I think you're doing a good thing if you do offer to help. If you can't afford it, you've got other stuff you need your money for better. Hey, no problem. That's understandable too. But if you can, I say help him out. He's helped out this stream a lot. I certainly owe him a debt of gratitude. So thank you, Shadzar, for what you do, and I hope your family's okay. Hope they do better. We've had our differences. Other people have had their differences, but nobody's perfect. Nobody agrees on everything, and that really shouldn't matter in a situation like this. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that for now. Thank you everybody for joining us in the stream here on HeroQuest Fans. Thank you, Strange Bus. Thank you to all of our viewers. One last roll call here of everybody that stayed with us thus far. So we've got more people. Yeah, another TV viewer, basically Bo, Captain Conman, Elviler, La Kaylee or LA Kaylee, welcome. Lana Ray, welcome. Ninatella, Rogue Girl 1, or no, Rogue 1 Girl. Oh, or just Rogue Girl, but spelled with the 1, and then Six Flags Magic Mountain. So yeah, thank you. If you didn't catch our live reading of Fellowship of Four, this was our second read through. We didn't quite get the best ending, but you can watch the VOD or video on demand here on Twitch. And unfortunately, we have to wait 24 hours. So sometime tomorrow evening, we'll try to post this up on YouTube. XSC3, home of HeroQuest Fans. So because we're affiliate now, that is the limitation. So yeah, thoughts on this? Any closing thoughts from anybody? Otherwise, I'm going to kind of close here in a moment. So this was a fun little exercise. I think they have given us some more features we can play around with as far as doing interaction live. And I mean, I agreed to do this affiliate thing, and I'm going to try to follow their rules. But at the same time, I mean, I want to be true to myself. I want to have fun, do this, as a fun hobby, and not ever lose the fun factor of it all. Because if it stops being fun, if it ends up being some kind of hustle or dodge or whatever, it's just not for me, and I'll just go back to the way things were. So I guess we'll go with it, and we'll just see what we can do. So anyway, yeah. All right, thanks everybody for joining us on HeroQuest Fans. We'll catch you tomorrow, hopefully. Check us out on Twitch first. Check us out on Discord. You can also find me on Ye Olde Inn. visit all our friends and affiliates, and we can actually see if we could do a raid. Raids are always fun, right? So let's see if any of our friends of the stream are online, and none of them are. Okay, well, but at the same time, if you want to follow anybody on our friends list, yeah, we'll just go through the list once more. We've got Lescargot, LESCARGOT 38, The Strange Bus, of course, Wicked underscore mini underscore painting. We've got Board Game Geek TV. We've got Loot Die Repeat. That's a new one, D&D stuff. Gareth underscore Hreidmar, HREIDMAR. We got PSK Studio, P underscore S underscore K underscore Studio. So it's Prince Knucklehead. Cool guy. We've got Gus Lado. We've got Signarly, Cyggnarly. We've got Koranok, Kouranok. We got Red Hunter, spelled RED 7, HUNTER. We've got Jimiat or Jaimeat, JAIMEAT1. And then we've got HeroQuest 99. We've got HeroQuest Twitch. And we've got Liorlek, Liorlek, or LEC, excuse me. I can't believe I got it wrong. Liorlec. Liorlek, moderator on Discord. Yeah, so what do I do when I add people? Well, I've added people that have added me. That's like a sub for sub thing. People who cover similar topics, people who contribute, make suggestions, just people that I think have interesting content. So we've also got Board Game Geek 86. We've got Covert Nerd Podcast. Good guy there, Lee. Board Games. And we got Nightbird, KNGHTBRD. That's iCareth. Miss him. Haven't seen him in a while. I know he's dealing with some stuff, so if you get in contact with iCareth or Nightbird, definitely hit him up. Maybe we should do a stream for him because he's had some stuff that he's been dealing with, some health related things. We got Bender012. We got Streamlabs, which supports a lot of small time and startup creators. So cool. Thanks to Streamlabs. The Hodgepodge. So the underscore Hodgepodge. We've got Gassan PL, GHASSANPL. And just things switched up. And Elviler, of course, long-time visitor. And if I missed anybody, just send me because I guess they're getting rid of the whisper feature. So yeah, send me a whisper, I guess, or a message on Twitch here, or just type it in the chat when you see me online. Go ahead and hit me up on Discord, add me as a friend. On XSC3, Home of HeroQuest fans on YouTube, you can send me a message there. You can reply to one of my videos. Like I said, I cover HeroQuest and related games, so Space Crusade, Battle Masters, stuff like that. Fantasy board game, tabletop gaming, video games related to that, and some old retro games as well. I haven't covered as much of that lately. I've got an Xbox 360, so that's as advanced as my console gaming is, but there's some good games on there. I recently got a capture card, so I might try that out. I might need to get a new laptop, but I'm not begging for money yet, okay? I just got started here. This is not about me begging for money. But yeah, if you've got money that you want to give me now, just give it to Shadzar. He needs it right now, so help him out. Anyway, so there's a lot we can do in the future, but thank you to everybody. Thank you. Can't thank you enough. I'm just going on and on here, but we are past our time, so we're going to end the stream here. Thank you once again for joining us on HeroQuest Fans, and hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow. And eventually all this will go up on YouTube and you'll get to see it there and enjoy it there. So everybody take care, have a good day, and yeah, check in with your family. Do what you can for them because that's important. All right, take care.